All right, I think I'm on live stream. Hello, 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 hello. I hope everyone can hear me. I hope my mic is working perfectly this time because last week my mic was having a lot of issues. So hopefully y'all can hear me. I am going to open up my YouTube now to make sure that I'm live streaming properly. It's always y'all. It's always like touch and go whenever I live stream. Okay, I am live. I can see myself live. So I'm just gonna wait for a few people to join and then we'll get started today. I hope everyone's having a wonderful Sunday afternoon. Hope your weekend's going well. I know for us, the weekend was really beautiful. Well, it was nice weather yesterday, and then today, the weather's kind of a little cloudy and it's cold outside, y'all. It does not feel like summer right now, especially in Victoria. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on this summer, but it's definitely not summer weather. Summer is not summering over in Victoria, but it's okay. I can't complain, y'all, because I prefer this kind of weather than it being way too hot. So, hey, Kitty, 1993. How are you, sis? Hope you're doing well. Hope everyone's doing well actually. So I got people watching. Okay, good. So this live stream is working. I hope my mic is good cuz whoo lord, last week when I uploaded, like after I did the live stream, I was like, yeah, I did my big one. I came back. It's been it was like 2 months. No, actually, let me rewind. Last week when I did my live stream, my mic died. And so I was thinking that, okay, if I use my computer's mic, then it should be fine because this is a MacBook. So it's a brand new computer. Sorry, I just hit my desk. It's a brand new computer. So I'm thinking that the mic's going to be good. And then I replayed the audio. I was like, oh, damn, it's so bad. But the show must go on, guys. And what I ended up doing was just I tried to like kind of play with the audio a little bit and I tried to enhance it and I did the best I could. But the funny thing is that people actually still watch the video. So thank you to those of you who watched the video because I know the audio was not great at all. But y'all still rock with your girl, so I'm very appreciative of it. But now today, this better work because I got it locked up here. I got two mics here, and I made sure I charged it properly this time. So I think my audio should work today. All right. I can hear you clearly. Thank you. Yes, this mic. Yeah, this mic better work today because I do not want to have any more audio issues. Hey Romy, just wanted to tell you that I love your videos. Thank you, Mia. Thank you. I appreciate you watching, and also I appreciate all of y'all, man. Y'all don't understand how much I appreciate you guys. So that's why I always consistently come back because I know that not only are these case studies helping you all, they are also helping me too. So it's like a win-win, right? And I love talking to you guys too, so I love it. So I'm happy. Hey, Evanescence. How are you, sis? Hey, Devonda Pittman. Hey, sis. Hey, girl. It's chilly. Let's get down to the case study. What Kenny did a lot of men do. Girl, you're ready to start. Let's get to business. Hey, Hello. Okay, so yeah, I see I got some people watching now. So yeah, let's get into it, y'all, because today's live stream, I'm going to try not to make it 5 hours like last week. Last week was very, very impromptu, but today I'm going to stay on time. So today's case study is such a loaded topic, y'all. Like, I honestly, I don't even know where to start with today's case study. I got a lot of footage. I have a lot of like receipts. We're going to go over everything one by one. Oh yeah, I'm looking at the camera now. So I got to get used to looking at this camera while I'm talking. What I'm going to tell you guys, though, is before we start diving into today's topic, because it's very sensitive, I'm going to read a few comments in between while I'm doing the whole analysis, but it's very concerning, y'all. This is not something that is an anomaly, like what happened between Jana and Kenny. It happens every day, and sis, you were right. Yeah, it happens every day to regular people. However, I think that in the media, what I'm starting to notice, though, is that people are making it seem as if it's only interracial relationships. And I can honestly say that it's not. This happens everywhere, right? However, what I have noticed, though, is especially with the Love Island franchise and also even Married at First Sight, Love is Blind, all of these dating shows, even The Bachelor. Let's get into it. Okay, you know what? Let's get into it. Let's go into chronological order here because people are acting as if this is the first time that this has happened, where a man uses a woman and leeches off of her and harvests her energy and her star power so that he can rise to the top. And what I'm starting to notice is a theme of people making it seem as if, one, the archetype of this type of situation is a dark-skinned black woman with a man of another race. So that's the image that they want you to see. That's number one. And number two, they kind of put that image out there so that you can be scared, or I think to instill fear of you dating outside of your race, especially if you are a black woman in today's time. Now, I am going to say that I am not an advocate for interracial dating or black love or any type of love where it is based on the premise of someone's skin tone alone. I do not advocate for that. I advocate for people to get into healthy relationships, whether it is with a black man, Asian man, Hispanic man, whatever man you could find who treats you well and who is going to look at you as the prize that you are and value you as a human being. Now, the issue that I have noticed, especially with the whole Kenny and Janae situation, is the way that it's being framed. And I remember when Kenny and Janae first initially got together, and people were skeptical of it. And that's rightfully so, because remember, he had bought Catherine from Casa, and people, and also Janae, remember last week I kind of touched upon her experience on Love Island, and she had a really bad experience on Love Island as far as finding love. The first guy that she was matched with, Koi, who was like, her type. He was tall, handsome, dark, black chocolate man, and he just wasn't bringing enough for her as far as him showing interest. And she did something that I thought was super brave. She was so brave. Last season, she decided to dump him from the island, like during, I think it was like the first few episodes. And that's unheard of, because usually, for example, if we look at Alandria and Taylor, love Alandria down, y'all already know that's my girl. But when we look at her situation with Taylor, she should have dumped him from the island like week one. Let's just be clear. Before Jalen even got there for her, she should have dumped him. But she was thinking of the optics of her dumping him because he's an OG, and she didn't want to have any types of issues with Ace and Nick at the time, right? That was her perception. So she kept him there, and he mistreated her. And now this is a black man, right? All right. Now we have Janae, who dumped Koi from the island. She let him go. And after that, she got used up by Connor, who definitely showed microaggressive racial biases towards her, and was painting her out to be an aggressive woman, to be like, I guess someone who was chasing him, all of that, right? Then after that, she met Kenny, and we saw that her love story blossomed, and everyone was cheering for her because she was the person that we wanted to win, right? Along with Serena and all the other ladies, Leah, Liv and Kayla, so on and so forth. Now, the thing is that because of this whole situation that has transpired, which I will get into, y'all, because we got a lot of footage here. And also, if you overlap that with Whitney and Lochan, I do not know these two, by the way. These two came on my radar while I was looking for Janae and Kenny content, because I was trying to do this live stream as just a Janae and Kenny type of story. And then Whitney and Lochan from Love Island UK. I don't know which season. It was probably like two seasons ago, possibly. I'm not sure. But it was the same exact situation where there's racism involved. There's a lot of them being used to gain fame. Especially from black women, because mostly, if you look at Kenny and Janae's audience, their audience is mainly or majority black women. And if you look at Whitney and Lochan, I hope I'm saying his name right. I believe that's how you say it, Lochan. It's the same thing. Their audience is majority black women. And not only that, but these two men are of mixed race descent. So traditionally, Kenny is of Dominican descent, and Dominicans have a lot of different ancestry, especially mainly like Spanish and Black, right? And then if you look at Lochan, he is biracial. His mother is Indian and his father is British. So he's white and has a whole bunch of other ancestry, but he's a white man. Now, when you get into there's so many layers, y'all. Like, I'm really trying my best to outline this as best as possible because I'm trying to be as authentic as possible when I say this, and I'm trying to say this with love, but I also want you guys to learn the differences, okay? Because a lot of people are now saying Nick and Alandria is going to turn out the same way, and now everyone is looking at interracial couples or interracial coupling, especially those on TV, as a way for the man to use the woman that he's with because they know that they're going to get popular off of it because of the state of relationships, especially for Black women who are dating in this day and age and time. Okay, so now we got that introduction here. The main part, because this is going to be a thesis, y'all. It's a mini case study, but also a thesis and maybe other motivational things I might talk about here. All right? My whole point of this video and this live stream is to let you all know that you have to be careful when you're dating someone, anyone, by the way, who exhibits the type of patterns that show that they are not interested in you. And it doesn't matter what race they are, y'all. This can apply to any race. And I think that people are hyper fixated on the interracial coupling. Why? Because let's bring it back to Loving versus Virginia, because I'm doing a case study on Tia and Tamara. And it's about to drop. I'm trying to finish the edits of it, but I think it's dropping tomorrow. That's my goal. Or later tonight, probably after this case study, I'm going to try to edit as much as I can. That case study is coming this week, and it's perfect timing. Why? Because Tia Mowry and Tamara Mowry Housley, they are literally biracial twins, right? And one was with a Black man or married to a Black man, and the other is married to a white man. And they literally, like, when you look at their experiences, it is kind of like interesting to see how people and even we can even add Prince Harry and Meghan Markle to it too, how people perceive interracial relationships versus traditional relationships, I guess monoracial, right? I hope I'm using the right word. And it's very interesting to see the difference in perception of the world and the public, right? So I'm not going to get too much into that because that's another case study in itself. But what I'm trying to get into is that Loving in Virginia in the United States, right? Because Whitney and Lochan are located in the UK. Kenny and Jana are located in the US. So I can talk about US right now. I'm not sure when interracial marriage was legalized in the UK, but I know for sure in the US it was in 1967. That is not that long ago, y'all. That is not that long ago. And so when you're looking at interracial marriage, especially between a Black woman and X race of man, it was only legalized in the US in 1967. 1967 is about 58 years ago. There are people who are living today who are that age right now. And if you look at the civil rights movement and segregation, and that was not just in America, this was worldwide that people were dealing with these types of racial issues, right? So when we look at that, when we look at everything in that kind of context, we can see that there's a societal shift. And this is still fairly new, especially for Black women, because we haven't had the type of push to date interracially versus other races. So for example, the largest interracial marriage pair in the US, and there's research that backs this up, so I'm not just making this up, Asian women and white men. That's number one. And then when you look at, for example, if you look at the Black race, Black men marry and date interracially probably double that of black women. And now, I would say within the last, let's say roughly, I mean, I'm guesstimating that this is my guess. I could be wrong. Probably within the last 20 years, probably less than that. I would say less than that is when black women have started to date interracially. So now we're in this new world, new territory, right? Where, of course, there were mixed race children during colonial times and stuff, but that was mostly by force. Let's be clear, all right? What I'm trying to say is black women deciding and choosing as a collective to date men of other races has been recent. This is a recent occurrence, I would say. And so we still haven't made the numbers yet. And so it's still quite new. And what I'm getting at is this, that, and of course, if you're new to this channel, I am in an interracial marriage. My husband is Korean. And I met him while I was in Korea. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning this is because I noticed, and I've noticed this a lot, is that the same type of loyalty that black women, especially black women, have had for black men for centuries, especially with, like with black love. That same type of fierce loyalty is now being transferred to men of other races, even if they do not deserve it. And we are just transferring, and again, y'all could disagree with me, but this is just what I've seen and observed, is that we're transferring our loyalty and our blindness from one race of men to another race of men. And this is very dangerous. I've noticed that. Because, for one, Jana and Kenny, when I look at them, yes, did they have a relationship that I think, was she caught off guard? Absolutely. I don't think that she knew the extent of how much he hated her. That's number one, because he was really good at faking it to a certain extent. However, there were red flags, y'all. There were always red flags, even subtle ones. But the problem is that we haven't been taught to decipher them. And it's not our fault. It is because we haven't gotten to the point yet where we're able to navigate even dating men of our own race and having that kind of advice given to us. So now how do we expect to have these type of red flags or to recognize them with men of other races who, a lot of people, for example, they haven't grown up in proximity with people of, or men of other races, let's be clear. So if you didn't grow up dating men of other races, you didn't grow up like around that area or that type of environment, then of course you're going to miss those red flags. I don't even think Janae has ever dated interracially from what I heard. I think this was her first time dating interracially. For Whitney, 100% it was her first time she said it. So a lot of these women are getting into these relationships and they're embarking on new territory and they're trying to open up their minds. However, the men are so insidious, y'all. The men are insidious because they know that there's a weakness there. I gotta admit it. They know that. And they're going to capitalize off of it. And this is a new day and age, y'all. So again, it's not just black men who are doing this. It's men of all races. They will target you. And they will use you if you do not know how to look for the patterns. So now that's my introduction. If I'm writing a thesis, this is my intro, y'all. So now, in this thesis or essay, whatever I'm saying right now, in this mini case study, whatever you want to call it, I will go through what happened, the situations for both couples. We're also going to go through a few videos where you can clearly see that there were red flags, y'all, subtle red flags. And also, by the end of this mini case study, my hope is for you guys to start to, think differently when you're starting to date a man, whoever it is. Start to think differently because, again, this I'm trying to be nice when I'm saying with what I'm saying. You got to be on guard, man. Like there are a lot of leeches out there, and it's not just for famous people. the Vonda Pittman said it perfectly. It can happen to regular people too, y'all. Anyone can get got. So I want you guys to protect yourselves mentally, physically, emotionally, so you don't fall into the same trap as these women did. And unfortunately, I feel so sad for them because they didn't deserve to have to learn this lesson in front of the world. You got to think of how that affects your self-esteem. The world sees you and they saw you get, like, they're literally watching you get embarrassed. Millions of people are watching this. And I know that it's definitely going to take some time for them to heal. And they're doing the best that they can, these two women. But, all right, enough talking now. Let me read a few comments and then I'm going to get into the videos, y'all, because I came prepared today. Let me see some comments. Hey, CFT, how you doing, sis? Hey, Doe. Dewanda Pittman says, season 2 Love Island, Justine and Caleb had a whole girlfriend and his whole family and friends were in on the scam. Yeah, it's a scamming season. I didn't get to Justine and Caleb. We're going to get into them probably. I just wanted to focus on 2 couples today. And then we'll focus on Caleb and Justine another time. I'll probably add them to another mini case study. And then you got to also add, as much as Huda is controversial, Huda and Lewis. That whole situation where Miguel like literally put out a message that Lewis was chasing clout. Y'all, it's a mess. It's a mess out there, but it happens. And sometimes people are social climbers. You got to look out for that. Nobody is safe. Dating is scary. Nobody's safe. And as a black woman, oh my God, is the least you can say. Yeah. Yep. He got with Leah and making jokes about her. Yeah, so you see UK season 10. Okay, so UK season 10, Scott and Catherine. Y'all gonna give me all these couples. Let me know who else are fame leeches. I know Leah called Lewis a clout demon. I was gonna use that in the title, but I was like, no, that's Leah's word, so I'll let her use that word. But yeah, y'all gonna let me know who else is a fame leech. Okay, let's get started, y'all. Let's get started. I think I've done my monologue enough. So intro. Now let's get into the first our first segment, which is we're going to start with Whitney and Lochan. Let's start with the accusations because first of all, like they met on Love Island in the UK season 10. So thanks for telling me that. And I think that they were the runners up. They were the runner-up couple. And people from day one said that they wouldn't last. And they noticed that you see, so this is the thing about social media. Sometimes social media could be right and sometimes they'll be wrong, right? Sometimes they think that, oh, like he couldn't possibly like her because she's a dark-skinned black woman, and that's not necessarily the case. But sometimes it's the way that they behave that makes you kind of, you know, your antennas go up. Now, as far as with Kenny and Janae and with Whitney and Lochan, when you're on Love Island and the cameras are watching you, it's hard to get like a read on someone because they know that the cameras are there and they know that the cameras will kind of capture everything, so they're going to be on their best behavior. That's with anyone. If the camera's in front of you, you're more likely to be aware of it, right? The best way to catch someone's interests and patterns is in real life situations, so around friends and family, or when they're the most comfortable. When they're the most comfortable, that's when you should be paying attention to patterns. That's tip number 1, by the way. Because once they're comfortable, then they're going to start to show their true selves. And the mask, it slips. And once the mask slips, then it'll be easier for you to be like, this is a red flag. This is a red flag. This is a red flag, right? All right, let's get to the Windows capture. So I am going to show you guys. Let's go through this folder. Do I have my folder up? Yes. Okay, here's my folder. And hold on. Let me try to open the videos. Yay! It works. I'm so excited, y'all. All right, let me see if I can make it wider. Okay, probably not because oh yeah, I can make it wider. Okay, good. All right, now let's start with... I'm trying to see which videos I want to start with, y'all, because this is a mess, y'all. It's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. Okay, so I'm going to try my best not to play some clips because I don't want to get copyright striked. Last time Love Island, they did they put so many strikes on my channel. So let's go first with the let's start first with the breakup allegations, y'all. All right, we're gonna start first with that. Okay, sorry y'all, I'm pulling it up. Just bear with me because I wasn't supposed to capture that screen, so sorry about that. Hold on, bear with me. Just give me 1 second. Let me open up another screen. Here we go. Okay, there. This is what I wanted to open up. All right. I know it's sorry, y'all. It's gonna be my screen recording. Y'all gonna see that. I didn't have time to use my editor today, so bear with me. I don't know why it's not moving, but okay, whatever. I'll try to move it to the side. Hold on a second. Let me try to move it to the side. Why is this not moving? I'm trying to move it to the middle, but you know what? It's just going to have to watch it like this. Hopefully you guys can hear it.
About a year into my relationship with Whit, we were on a walk close to my flat. She got her nails done and she, annoyingly put her nails in my face and was like, oh, my hands are so clean. My hands are so clean, yours aren't. And I was like, no, they're not. And, I was kind of just annoyed her hands were in my face, but it was a very off-the-cuff remark. I just said, no, they're not. And, she looked at me in shock and was like, you're calling me dirty. And, I was taken back by that. I was, I felt insulted that, my girlfriend who I loved, who knows me, who knows that I would never insinuate something like that, is, calling me a racist and saying, you're calling my skin dirty. So I just want to first off say I've never called anyone's skin dirty, and I would never. Like, that to me is the most upsetting comment. And I think when Whit retaliated the way she did, amongst anything, I was super upset because, this is the girl I love, this is the girl I'm with. And then, it was a very emotional day for both of us. I was getting told, oh, the world's going to see, the racist that you are. And, that was super upsetting for me because, I love her family, I still do. And I didn't care about the public. It was more like, your family you're gonna paint this picture to my family that, I've called your skin dirty, when that never happened. That was really upsetting. And then, on top of that, having the comment to say the world's gonna see the real you, like, I of course was scared because I was like, this narrative of something that has been taken completely out of context is now gonna be, shown to the world as it has been done now.
Okay, so I'm gonna get back on the screen. 1 second. Let me figure out. Hold on a second, y'all. Let me get this down. Okay, it's down. You should see. Whoa. Hold on a second, y'all. I think my screen is frozen. I know you guys can hear me, so just give me 1 moment. I'm just going to delete these because I don't know why my video is not showing. There we go. Okay, I'm back now. All right, so let's start with this first. All right. Again, I'm just going to freestyle this, y'all. I don't have this plan in my head, but I'm just going to go through these one by one. So the allegation, Whitney and Lochan, they've been together for about 2 years. And then she went on a show called Insider. I believe that's the name of the show. I'm going to show clips of that too and show clips of everything in between, like their time Love Island, blah, blah, blah. But I wanted to start with this first because this is the most recent allegation. The allegation is that he was racist to her their entire relationship. And now that they've broken up, she feels free and liberated enough, or I guess she realized that he was like, she was tired of protecting him and she decided to speak her truth. All right. Now, whether you believe her or not is up to you. However, I believe her. I believe that this did happen. I believe that whatever she's saying did happen for the simple fact that she doesn't have anything to gain from this. Now, I understand that he has, and we're going to get into it, he has a lot of supporters who are Black women, and they are still supporting him, y'all. They believe that Whitney is lying. And they believe that she is making it up because she is jealous, that he has moved on, and he had apparently a cooking show with another woman from, I think she's from another season of Love Island or some social media influencer. I'm not sure who she is. Unfortunately, I didn't get enough time to look into her background. But people are saying that she is jealous, and that's the reason why she's coming out with these allegations. Now, let's go to his story. He said that her nails were dirty or something, and he said that like like that was dirty and not her skin. It's a completely different story. However, notice that when he was saying that, oh yeah, like I'm not racist, he kept saying he said it twice. He said that he doesn't like he was basically upset that she was going to tell the world and that people would know that he's racist, or they would think that he's racist. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, so this is what you're really concerned about. You're really concerned about your racism being exposed. Because for me, the fact that he said that twice, that means to me, or that shows me that that's what he's thinking about. He's thinking about his brand. He's not thinking about what was done. He's not thinking about none of that. He's thinking about his brand and how his brand is tied to hers. And also, he has a lot of black followers. So if they decide that they're going to go against him, just as people are going against Kenny right now, then he's not going to have a brand to stand on. And there's a reason why I believe that this is what he's concerned about. We're going to get into it, though. I think, in my opinion, that I'm not saying, okay, I don't want to say that he wasn't into her at all, because he was obviously physically attracted to her. Enough where they even, I believe they moved in together at some point. So he was physically attracted to her at some point, enough to use her. But that doesn't mean that he liked her. There's a big difference. You can sleep with someone you don't like. Men do it every day, y'all. This is not anything new. So, in my opinion, this man did not like her either. Just as Kenny did not like Janae. But let's continue on to these allegations, because he said more. And we're going to hear Whitney's side of the story. And then we're going to go back and watch a few videos of their relationship. And then we're going to see if he had the patterns of someone who likes, or if he exhibited the type of you know what I mean, the characteristics of a man who truly loves a woman. Because in my opinion, from what I've seen, no, he did not. I don't see anything other than, yes, he showed that he liked her, and yes, he said, I love her and I want a future with her, but actions speak louder than words, and we're going to look at his actions soon. So let me pull up another video clip. And this is, again, the apology, or not the, why I keep saying apology, the allegations. These are the allegations, okay? So I'm going to pull up another screen grab, or screen capture. So just bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. Let's pull this up here, because I have to make it go in order. Okay, no, this is something different. Give me a little bit of time. I have 34 videos, y'all. 34 videos. It's a lot. Okay, I'm gonna pull this one up. He had another apology video, but let me see if I can see hers. Just bear with me one moment. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna go to the TikTok page, because I have a backup, y'all. I knew this might happen, so I decided to have a backup, and we're gonna go to the backup now, because I had a feeling that this would happen. So let's open this. I'm gonna go to my backup page. Okay, this one. All right. Yay, we got to the backup page. All right. Let's do this, y'all, because I knew this was going to happen. Okay. Here we go.
You know, I had text from Lizzie. She said, brother, you don't need to explain. Like, I understand, like, we know you're not a racist. Her mum called me. I called her mum, you know. But that's been taken and spun and, you know, made me to basically say your hands are dirty, or your skin, not even your hands, your skin, which it's hard to even say these words because it just goes against everything that I've been raised, coming from like a multicultural background, my mum being Indian, my dad Scottish, Polish, English. It's upsetting and devastating. I don't know. I had text from Lizzie, and she
Okay,
said, "Brother,
so
you don't need to explain."
let's stop this here. All right, I'm going to get back on the screen real quick. So let's decipher this part. He said that these allegations really troubled him or, affected him because he comes from a multiracial background. So he made sure to insert that in there. Y'all, this is all strategic, by the way. I'm just being honest. This is all strategic. He knew what to say because he says, hey, my mom's Indian, my dad's white. If anyone could understand the effects of racism, it should be me. But however, sir, no, that actually makes it worse. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll tell you why. Because his mother's Indian, right? She comes from a country where there's a caste system. There's a hierarchy. All right, let's keep it real. Am I saying all Indian people are racist? Absolutely not. I know there are some really genuine and amazing Indian people in this world. But what I'm talking about is the system. Whenever I'm talking, I'm going to say the same thing for Dominican Republic. Is the systemic, guys, systemic racism. At an individual level, yes, of course you're going to find people who are not racist and who are the greatest people in the world individually. But as a system, yes, it is very classes and race based. So there are even there are even sects in India, like for example, tribes in India, where they don't even get along because of where they come from, because they come from different regions. Everything is by class and caste. Like your caste, there's a caste system, and that's the country she comes from. And they also see people who are of darker skin tone at the bottom. Now, especially fairer skinned people. All right, so fairer skin goes at the top, and then the darker you are, the lower class you are, and that's with a lot of countries wherever there was colonialism, right? Remember, they were colonized by the British. So, again, just because you come from a multiracial background does not mean that you do not harbor some of those sentiments, especially when it comes to dark-skinned black people or black people in general. So the fact that he's bringing that up, it's just a way for whoever's watching it to be like, oh, yeah, like he's multiracial. There's no way that he could not know about racial sensitivity. There's no way that he could be racist. And that could be furthest from the truth. Furthest from the truth. So that's another thing. And something else that I want to mention is, and this is going to be a tip for you all, you have to watch out. One, who are his parents? That's number one. Make sure if you're going to date interracially or whatever, if you're not even dating interracially, anyone, find out who their parents are. That's number one. If he comes from a mixed race family, if you're dating interracially, I would try to find out more information about the country where they come from, because that's going to make a difference in how you're treated. And yes, his family could be great people. However, there are probably family members around that will hold the same sentiments of their country of origin. I'm telling y'all, that's something that goes deep. And trust and believe me, that was one of the first questions I asked my husband. I was like, how do your parents feel about black people? How does your family feel about black people? And I knew that once his parents were all in, and they were all in from the beginning, by the way, y'all, because they were open-minded to it. And also they did a great job in raising my husband. That's number one. But number two, they made sure that the family knew what time it was. And they're like, look, we got this woman. She's a black woman that's about to come into our family. Y'all better respect her. And I think that that's the type of energy that you should be looking for. But besides that, look at who he hangs out with, because we're going to get to his friends soon. Who are his friends? Who does he hang out with? Because that's also going to let you know. And that's another subtle thing that you could figure out. If he says that, hey, I'm into this, I'm into that, or, he's dating you, and you're a black woman and he doesn't expose himself to black people on purpose, that's a problem. That's a red flag, especially if he lives in the UK. So we're going to figure that out. We're going to find out who his friends are. Because let me tell you, show me who your friends are and I know who you are. That's how it goes. So let's see. Because Whitney's going to talk about his friends. But let's see what else he has to say. And then we're going to switch over to Whitney. So let me go back to my capture here. Hold on. Let's pull it up. Let me see if it pulls up here. Yeah, it did. Okay. Now let's go to the next video, y'all. Oh, this is long. All right. Let's go to the third video.
And I feel like, I had text from Lizzie. She said, brother, I don't...
Oh, wait, I think... Is that the one we watched? Okay, no, this isn't the
And I feel like, ever since the... I had text from Lizzie. She said, brother, you don't need to explain. Like, I understand, like, we know you're not a racist. Her mum called me. I called her mum, But that's been taken and spun and, made me to basically say your hands are dirty, or your skin, not even your hands, your skin, which it's hard to even say these words because it just goes against everything that I've been raised, coming from like a multicultural background, my mum being Indian, my dad Scottish, Polish, English. It's upsetting and devastating. I don't know.
Okay, I think we did watch that one. I think that creator just uploaded it twice. Okay, so now let's get into Whitney's version, and then I'm going to read that text message he said that came from her sister, because he is, again, he's including her family into it and saying, hey, her sister doesn't think I'm racist. And her mom does, her mom and her sister, they are on my side. That's basically what he's saying. And they're saying that I'm not racist. So therefore, this is a Whitney problem. And this is not a me problem. That's what he's trying to say, y'all. And again, that's another thing I gotta say. You gotta watch out with your family members, because they might not know the extent of what you went through. That's number one. And sometimes they could also have biases and judgments. And so again, I don't know the story in its entirety because we're hearing his side of the story. But from the way that he's saying it is as if we know you're not racist and she's just tripping. She's a troublemaker. She's lying. She's a liar. He is framing her out to be a liar. And that's a very strong accusation, because once the family's involved and she has a black family, then it's like, oh, yeah, she's just making it up now. And now we can see in real time the reception, because people are thinking that she's lying based off of that. And it's very extremely sad if that is the case. Again, allegedly, I don't know if this happened or not. So that's why I don't want to go too hard on the family members, because it's just his account. We don't know if he's lying. You get what I mean? But there are some family members who are the ops, especially if somebody is of another skin tone, because they're going to see that person as like innocent. And also sometimes they have preconceived biases where they think that that race can do no wrong. And so it's a you problem. It's not a them problem. That person appeared to be so sweet and he treated you so well, so maybe it's you. And you got to be careful with family members like that. So let's continue on, y'all, to the next video, which is now we're going to hear Whitney's part. So hers was longer. She had a whole explanation about everything. So I'm going to read the comments a little bit, because I hope that y'all can see and hear what I'm saying. Hold on. I pulled up the wrong thing. Let me pull up the comments just to see if I missed anything. And then I'm going to get right back into it. Okay. So, Soft and Spicy wrote, I need to see the receipts. I'm not seeing how not wanting hands in his face as racist. Wait, what hands in his face? I didn't see that part. A non-black man dating black women with no black friends is a yep, big red flag, y'all. A huge red flag. XO, get it, girl. Yeah, Ganja girl. Yes, welcome to the live. Yes, it is a huge, Zanaya, it's a huge red flag. Now, this is my take on it before I continue on to Whitney's version, because there's only 3 videos that I saw. We're going to go to his social media, his TikTok, and then we're going to see the full video, because that person clipped it, so I'm gonna see if his full video like explains everything else in detail. So we'll watch that in its entirety. But yes, the reason why I said that it's a red flag is because, especially if they come from a Western country where there's diversity, it's a big red flag. And even if they don't come from a Western country, like for example, with my husband Dom, he is from a predominantly homogenous country. So he's from Korea. And of course, Korea is fully Korean. There are not a lot of foreigners in Korea. However, when he had the opportunity to move to New Zealand and Australia, he made friends of different races, including black friends, white friends. He made sure to explore those relationships and friendships because, again, he didn't limit himself to learning about different races. He took it as an opportunity to do so. And you got to be careful with people who just stay in their little bubble and circle. Again, some people may disagree with me, but I'm being honest, because then when you start to hang out with people who look different from you and who have different experiences from you, then it'll open you up to different ideas, different ways of life. It'll challenge your biases. I'm telling y'all, it will challenge your biases. The more that you, I guess, open yourself up to different people, and you'll start to see things a lot differently. And unfortunately for him, again, we're going to see his friend group because she talks about it. So now let's get to Whitney. We're going to get to her part. I'm going to play the video. Ooh, I really want to crop this video though, but I'm still trying to work through this, y'all. Still trying to work through this.
Are we doing this? Are we really gonna go for the nice boy, puppy dog eye look? Really? Back to the situation of how it happened. We were walking back from lunch, going back to his place, and I was in the sun, and I was like, babe, look how my skin glistens.
Oh, there it is. I figured it out.
And he looked at me and he was like, ugh, it's dirty. And then only when I lashed out, he was like, it was a joke, it was a joke. And he was crying. He called all my family members saying it was a joke, it was a joke. And because Lochan gives off this golden retriever energy, like no one would ever believe that he would ever say it maliciously. But you guys know I have dark humor. So I know when something's a joke and when something's being said seriously and then span into, oh, it's a joke. Lochan, are we doing this? Are we really going to go for the nice boy?
Hold on a second, y'all.
Dog eye look. Really? Back to the situation of how it happened.
Okay, stop. I stopped it. All right. So, all right. She's saying that, you see, so he made it seem as if there was something on her nail that was dirty, and that's what he was talking about. But she said that they were in the sun, and he basically made a joke about her skin being dirty as a black woman. You see, this is what I'm talking about. And let's play devil's advocate. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. And let's say it was a joke. It possibly could have been a joke. But again, this type of cultural insensitivity lets me know that you weren't around black people like that. Because if you were, you would know not to make a joke like that. You would know. But some people, it just comes off so easily. It rolls off the tongue, y'all. It rolls off the tongue. For him to say it so easily like that, that's a red flag. Big red flag. And then he called her family, apologized. And then now he's telling us that, oh, it was because of her nails. It had nothing to do with her skin tone. Because he knows that the optics are not good. He realized that, oh, this is not a joke. But that's her account. And I believe her, y'all. I'm telling y'all, listen. I know a lot of people are always like, oh, like, why are you believing her? Maybe she's wrong. Nah. I'm inclined to believe her side of the story until proven otherwise. You will never see me believe in somebody else, especially when it comes to sensitive topics like this. And I don't think that she would make light of this. It would actually work against her. It would be the dumbest thing that she could ever do is to lie about something like this. This would mess up her whole brand. It wouldn't make sense for her to lie about it. So that's why I'm inclined to believe her. let's go on and move on to the next one. All right. So her next video got 1 million views, so this one must have been a big one.
When I used to come to your house, what did your mom used to say to me? The lights would go off, and she would say, "Where's Whit gone? Whit, smile." And that was an on-running joke in that household, like, "Whit, smile, Whit, smile." So I just hate the fact that he's coming on the internet acting so, like, innocent. I'm not even here saying that Lochan is a racist. I'm here saying that he made racial slurs. Yes, racial slurs towards me. This is the same guy that used to pocket watch me and say, "Oh, why didn't you tell me you got paid today? Oh, like, the bill's on you. Pay for the rounds of drinks for my friends." Like, I can't even believe the poppy dog eyes and the, oh my gosh. When I used to come to your house, what did your mom used to say to me?
Oh no, pause on the play.
The lights
Hold
would
on,
go
y'all.
off,
Let's
and she would say, "Oh, where's Whit gone? Whit, smile." And
okay, there we go. Okay, there was a lot of this one, sis. Ooh, Lord, you gave us a lot here. Okay, first things first. When it's dark and where's Whit gone? Where's her smile? I believe that. You know why? Because somebody tried that with me a while ago, a long time ago, when I was in my 20s, and I checked that person so quick. I don't play about those things, and I believe it happening. I do believe it, and it was not. It was somebody of a person of color that did that or that said that, and they think it's funny. And she even said it. I'm not saying he's racist, but I'm saying that he used racial slurs. Sis, it's the same thing, to be quite honest with you. Racial bias, racial slurs, it shows that that person has like some type of fundamental issue with you and your skin tone. And they've been taught to see you as less than and inferior on top of that. So again, she's saying, I'm not saying he's racist, but he used racial microaggressions and his parents or family. Again, that's what I'm saying. You can tell they had never been around black people like that, because for them to make jokes like this and think that it's funny just lets me know that they do not understand. I don't want to say no. I don't want to say they don't understand, because they do. They just don't care. They just don't care. They don't care. They're not seeing it as something that would be offensive to you because you don't mean anything to them. That's what that is. Because if you care about somebody, let's keep it real. If you care about someone, you care about their feelings, you're going to always watch what you say around them, because you know it might be offensive. There's no way you're not going to know how to do that. It's just basic human decency. But then again, like I said, just because he comes from a multiracial or biracial background doesn't mean diddly squat. If his own mama is saying stuff like that, then that lets me know that this was taught. This was taught. And so now he's saying these things around her and thinking, no, it's just normal. That's just how we talk to black folks that we've never been around. Lord. All right. Let's get to the next video, y'all. It's like I told y'all, this case study finna be a long, but this mini case study is gonna be a long one. Okay.
That was an on-running joke.
Hold on, y'all. I'm really trying to stop it. Okay, here we go. All right. Let's listen to the next one.
And this is the same guy whose friends used to use the N-word, and he would condone it by still being friends with them and going to paddle with them.
Okay, let's rewind.
And this is the same guy whose friends used to use the N-word, and he would condone it by still being friends with them and going to paddle with them. And I used to tell him, this is where someone tweeted about me being on the train saying the N-word, because I was like, why are you hanging around with people who obviously have that word in their vocabulary? And I'm obviously a black woman. And one day, I'm sure you anticipate on having kids with me, like you said. So therefore, your kids would be black. So why are you condoning your friends talking like this? That's what that argument on the train was about. And this is the same guy whose friends used to use the N-word, and he would condone it by still being friends.
Here we go. Okay. Let's unpack this, y'all. He had friends that were using the N-word. And if they're using the N word, then that means that they are not of black descent. And to be honest with you, I personally don't like to use the N word anymore. I've stopped using it. I used to, but then I realized for me personally, that's just my opinion. I don't want to use it. And especially because again, I am married to a man who is Korean. I don't want him to ever think that it is okay for it. Well, he knows, obviously, not never to say a word like that. He would never do that. But what I'm trying to say is, as far as myself, I don't want that word in my household because I don't want ever for anyone to ever get comfortable enough around me to say that junk around me. I'll just be honest with you. Now, as far as Whitney goes, and again, she's 27 years old, y'all, so we got to remember that. So that's why I'm going to give her a lot more grace because of that. She is young, and this is probably her first experience going through something like this. And that's why some people are saying, well, you were with him for 2 years, and you didn't say anything until recently. Like, why are you talking now? There's no statute of limitation on when somebody could tell their truth. That's one. And number two, she already knew that people were going to perceive her in a negative light because they did when she did the TV show The Insider. So I can imagine that in her mind, she's probably thinking that, hey, if I reveal this, then people are probably not going to believe me. And maybe she got more courage to reveal it around the Jana and Kenny situation. Because sometimes that's all it takes is for someone else to go through something and then someone else is going to speak up about it. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get back to what she said now. She was talking about finances and he was like, when you going to make the bread? When you going to make the bread? Because that's what he wanted. That was, remember, his video. He was talking about the world and the public. Brands. Put that there. I don't want my brand to be tainted by this allegation of racism. And for her, she's saying that he's all about the money. He was like, where the money at? Where the money at? I'm with you right now. We're supposed to get, some deals because people love us together. And they love seeing black women in love, which is not a bad thing to see. That's amazing. But it shows that we're so quick to trust people. We're really too trusting, in my opinion, especially with men, because I think every woman who desires to be loved wants to see other women loved. And you want to see women celebrated, especially for us, because we've gone through a lot of struggle. I mean, as far as our image goes, we don't have a positive image out there. That's for sure. Especially when it comes to love, romance, entertainment. We're always seen as less than. Always seen as the objectified race. Always seen as the sexualized, overly sexualized, hypersexual, aggressive. Any type of negative stereotype. Like, people do not see us as feminine, as women, and as, a lot of people do not see black women as deserving to be loved. I do not agree with that, obviously, but that is the perception. And we want so badly for our race of women to be uplifted and celebrated, but at what cost? Because now she's sitting here hiding what she's really going through because she doesn't want to mess up the optics. She doesn't want to look bad. But now look at this. Now that the allegations came out, and people still don't believe her. Because they can't fathom the fact that this man would do this to her. When in actuality, any man could do this to any woman. But for some reason, when it comes to interracial relationships, we have an issue seeing it that way. And again, I explained it as we are not used to that type of dynamic yet. It hasn't been, it's still something fresh and new. And of course, if you look at systemic types of systems of operations and how we view whiteness and proximity to whiteness, then we're going to get into that, right? Now, I find it interesting that she said, how could you let your friends talk like that? And you're with a black woman, you're going to have black kids. They don't give a damn, sis. I want y'all to know that. A racist could sleep with you and procreate with you and still get up and call you the N-word. Y'all done seen it in real time. How many biracial kids have you seen? You could even go on TikTok right now. How many biracial kids have you seen come out and say that my mom was racist or my dad was racist? They called me the N-word every day. They said my skin was ugly, dirty, and they literally procreated with that person. that they found so disgusting. It doesn't matter to them. It really doesn't. So I want people to get out of that mindset that, like what she's saying, oh, we're going to have black kids, and how could you not think about that? They don't care. A racist is a racist is a racist. A clout chaser is a clout chaser is a clout chaser. If you have something that they can use, they will use you until they have no use for you anymore. It doesn't matter what you look like. All right, let's get to the next part. Next video.
You guys are asking me, why did I go back with him? No, we broke up when that racial slur happened, right? And then moving forward, it was turbulent in our relationship. That was very on and offy. That's why I wasn't posting much online, because I didn't want to put forward something that I wasn't genuinely feeling to my core. So it got to the point where we went to New York and I wanted to break up with him. I was saying to him, like, yeah, feelings are still there, but I just don't see this going in the way that I want my future to go. It's the same guy that gaslighted me and said, oh, I want to marry you, I want to do this for you. Look, guys, he took me to therapy with him, to do couples therapy. And then the whole inside thing happened, and then Bob's your uncle, he was gone a week later because I didn't get the same clout that I got from Love Island. Really? You guys are asking me.
All right, let's stop it here.
No,
okay, we're gonna stop it here. So, all right, he took her to couples therapy and tried to build, like, he was breadcrumbing her. I don't know why I can't talk today. Hold on, let me drink my water. There we go, that's better. He was breadcrumbing her, y'all, into thinking that there was a future with him, but it was all dependent on what she could bring to the table. Because remember, she said he was asking her where the funds at, where the money at. So as long as you can keep making money for me, then we're gonna be okay. But as soon as you are unable to keep up with your end of the bargain, then I'm gonna cut you loose, because then he has no use for her anymore, right? And he's already, you got to remember, they both started off on Love Island, and they built their brands together. And so now he's probably at the point where he can go solo and not have to use her anymore. He has no use for her anymore. So now he can branch off and do whatever he's doing. And she said that when she had the controversy with the show Inside, and we're going to get into that. After that, that's when he broke up with her, and that's true, because Inside was, I think it was filmed last November, and then the show started, or it was aired in March. They broke up in April. So, her account, it lines up with the timeline. So that's why I'm inclined to believe what she's saying. It makes the most sense when you think about it. Let's go to the next part. Sorry, y'all.
Right?
Yeah, it keeps playing every time I X out of it, because it's still playing in the background, but that's what it is. Okay.
Vulture. He clocked that his audience obviously is predominantly black. So Lochan is a culture vulture. His audience obviously is predominantly black. So he's constantly trying to tap into the culture, but the same culture he stripped me of, the same culture he told me I was too ghetto, I was too loud, my family can't come to his sister's events because they'll steal the attention. There was so much that went into that relationship, hence why I slowly started to mutate my whole identity and I lost myself. So I don't understand why he's coming on the internet doing up lies. It's very, 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 very strange.
Okay, I believe her with this too. I'm telling y'all, she's not lying. And if anyone believes she's lying, please let me know in the chat why you believe that, because I'm going to prove to you why she's not lying soon. I got the footage. See, I make sure, and that's what you guys should all do, by the way. When you hear these type of apology, like I keep saying apology, these allegation videos, when you hear these allegation videos, you got to check and see the proof. I'm going to show you the proof of what she's talking about here. He said she's loud and ghetto and that she's too much for him. Even though as far as my memory allows me to know this, but I know from the footage that I watched of her on Love Island, because I watched a few scenes between her, Tyreek, Ella, all of them. She was the same. I don't see any difference, but because, again, he was starting to see that, again, he's trying to make it seem like there's something wrong with her so he can have an escape. And also, what used to bother, it didn't bother him before because he was chasing the clout and chasing the fame. He was a fame leech, clout demon. So he didn't care about that. But as soon as he started to, he was on the come up, he was on the rise, then it started to bother him. Oh yeah, you too ghetto classy. I need somebody who's a little bit more reserved and refined. Even though he knew how she was before. Doesn't make sense at all, right? But anywho, and then she said she lost herself and her identity because she's trying to be someone who he keeps telling her that he wants, but it's not her true self. And he knew that she wouldn't be able to be that person. But she's trying so hard to change herself to fit into the mold that he has created for her. He wants her to be a shapeshifter and to be more reserved. You gotta be more reserved, more calm, more calmer, tamer. And she couldn't bring her family to his sister's event because they would take the attention. Attention for what? Being black? I don't understand what attention we talking about. What attention? He just ain't want the family there. That's all that was. So, y'all, oh Lord. And by the way, these are all red flags. Y'all already know that. During their 2-year relationship, she was going through this. Just remember that. All right. Let me see if y'all still with me here because this is a lot. I know it's a lot to go over. I'm going to see if there's any comments before I continue to make sure I didn't miss anything and to make sure this is streaming actually. So hold on a second. That's not what I wanted to pull up. Just one moment. Okay, here we go. All right. It's so troubling how many men date women they don't like. Yes, they will do it because it's accessible to them. They just want access to someone and to emotionally take from you. Oh, and another thing I forgot to mention. Let me get back on the screen here. Have you guys watched the movie Sinners? This reminds me of Sinners when she was saying that he's a culture vulture. And he was using her energy because she said that his audience is majority black people, black women, to be quite honest with you. And he was harvesting her energy and her likeness. And remember, he wants her to be a certain way, so he kept putting that pressure on her. But she wasn't herself around him because he would suck up the energy out of her, y'all. That's what these fame and clout demons want to do. They want to take your energy. And so then when you're done with them, you are a shell of yourself. You're not yourself. Her bubbly personality, you could see it when she was on Love Island. People loved her. She was one of the top women there. And this man took everything from her as far as her soul. And she was trying to change herself because she could tell that he didn't want to be with her like that. Those signs were already there, y'all. She knew it. I think that she just didn't want to believe it. And she was trying so hard to make him realize that she's the prize and she's a catch. She should have dumped him a long time ago. But again, she's young. So that's why I'm kind of being a little bit more generous and graceful with her because I know what it's like, especially if she didn't have guidance. And we're going to get to her family life in a second. But it's very sad. And in Sinners, I remember, I don't want to spoil the movie for a lot of y'all, but I just remember the premise of it was that it was people of Caucasian origin, or, how whiteness was used to lure people. So basically they used music to lure people. And then they wanted to harvest the energy that the black people had because they had the voices and the talent and all that stuff, right? So I don't want to go into it too much because I don't want to spoil it for those of you who haven't watched Sinners. But that movie encapsulates what is going on here. He couldn't do it on his own. He would not have been able to get this much clout and this much popularity and these many brand deals on his own. He doesn't have the personality. Kenny doesn't either. We're going to get into it after. They don't have the personality. So they want to latch onto someone who does. And to be honest with you, this transcends race. What I'm about to say right now transcends it a little bit. Black women, we have an aura. And I'm not saying other races of women don't get me wrong. All women have an aura. But black women in particular is that we have that energy. And unfortunately, a lot of people like to take it away. And they want to use it for themselves. She had the personality to be a big star with or without him. Period. Without Lochan, she was still gonna be set. People still liked her up until the Inside TV show. But she had enough to make it on her own. Janae, same thing. Janae has enough personality to be a star on her own. She doesn't need a man to do it. She has a bigger than life personality. And she's gorgeous on top of that. So is Whitney. Whole package. They don't need them. But the men need them. But the women don't need the men. That's how it always is. Let's continue, y'all. Let's continue. Oh, Lord. There's more to this, y'all. There's more. All right. Let me X out of here. Y'all gonna hear it a little bit. Oh, actually, here we go. Okay, I X'd out of it. Now, let's get into the next part. Okay, we watched this one. Let's get into this.
Every single time I'll try and leave this guy flowers, bring my mum flowers. He presents himself to my family, and I'm a golden retriever. I'm a nice guy, so obviously everything that I do, I'm a pit bull. Like, I just look crazy because it's never going to compare to his fake aura. When I first came out about my breakup, I was very much like, I'm going to protect him. I'm only going to say the good. It's the right thing to do, the nice thing. But then with time, he allowed this narrative of me to be ran. Even though he was silent about it, that silence, it bred story times. It bred room for people to give their opinions and say things about me that wasn't true.
Okay, so here, notice she said that he would act like he's the golden retriever and she's the pit bull in front of her family. I done told y'all. I knew it. Because when he came out and said, oh, her parent or her mom doesn't think so and her sister doesn't think I'm racist, I already knew what time it was. He portrayed an image of himself and it was easier for them to accept it because he's not black. I gotta keep it real, y'all. And unfortunately, we do that to ourselves as our community does that. We tend to think of other races of people in a better light than our own people. And of course, her mom and her sister, they know who she is, right? So they're thinking like, oh, I know how she is. She probably has an attitude with you sometimes, and that's just how she is. And it's her fault that everything is going down like this. But again, it's like he was able to hide his true self behind the mask of that whole type of persona that he was presenting to them. And it was easier for him to do that because he was of another race. And so, remember, she said that he had called her family to apologize when he allegedly said that her skin was dirty. And I'm wondering if these type of situations happened prior or after that. And the fact that they were okay with forgiving him for that and no red flags came up after that, that's a bit alarming to me. That's very alarming to me, actually. Because that should have been an indication that this man, something's not right here with this relationship. But again, she kept continuing into it because she wanted to protect him. And he wasn't protecting her. And that's how it always is. It's like, again, that loyalty. We need to get rid of that. Get rid of that loyalty. Do not be loyal to anyone other than yourself first. That's number one. Yourself and your maker. That's who you should be loyal to. And then everyone else has to earn your loyalty. He did not earn it. He was already messing up. He didn't earn that type of loyalty. She should have blasted him. But then she waited and waited and waited. Because she didn't want to expose him, but he didn't care about her. That's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes we're too good, and this goes for everyone. You don't have, like, now this advice, it pertains to everyone. You don't have to protect people. You don't have to do that. You need to expose people as soon as possible. If somebody did you wrong, they did you wrong. Don't try to protect them, because all it does is it hurts you in the end. Because now when she wants to come out, people do not believe her. Had she exposed him from the very beginning and she didn't try to protect him, he was never going to protect her. He doesn't care about her. But you could tell her feelings were genuine. She really loved him because she wanted the world to see him in a certain way. But then when it came time for him to defend her, where was he? Nowhere to be found. Because he's a clout chaser demon. Leech, parasite of a man. That's why he doesn't care to defend you, sis. He never did. And to be honest with you, based on his actions, you should have never protected somebody like that at all. You should have saved other women from him. But now look, people are protecting him and they think she's lying. All right, let's continue, y'all. All right, next part. Yeah, I think, there's a lot of parts, y'all. There's a lot of parts. All right. Oh, she's crying in this one? Oh, it looks like, oh no, she's just talking. Okay, let's continue on. Hold on, I'm going to have this up and then I'm going to play it. So just one moment, I have to put the volume up. Let's pause this. Okay, let's turn on the volume here.
Going back to the point of why did you say every single time I'll try and leave this guy flowers, bring my mum flowers. He presented himself to my family.
Oh wait, I think that's the one we watched.
I'm a golden retriever.
Okay, sorry y'all.
I'm a nice guy. So obviously everything that I do, I'm a pit bull.
Okay, we watched this one already. Okay, next. Sorry, I think it's this one.
The whole inside thing happened, okay. and then Bob's your uncle. He was gone a week later because I didn't get the same. The whole inside thing happened, and then your uncle, he was gone a week later because I didn't get the same clout that I got from Love Island. And when I went to put out the statement, he was like to me, can you specify something about the inside thing? Can you put that in there? And I was like, why are you even thinking about that? Because at that time, I wasn't even thinking about that. But why are you thinking about it? Because that's exactly what it was about, the inside backlash. I was constantly giving him grace, but when did he ever give me grace? So it got to a point where, like, now it's me or you. And this time I'm going to pick me. The same way you're sitting there saying, oh, I need to defend myself. You've got nothing to defend yourself from, because I know how good I was to you. I know how much I fueled your platform. I know what kind of girlfriend I was. Like, when we come out of Love Island, we were both broke. And I know who was running the checks, who was paying the bills, who was fueling the dreams.
Oh, Lord, hold on. Oh, no. Oh, gosh. Y'all, yeah, I didn't hear this part, like, because I watched some of the videos ahead of time, but not this one. So, basically, sis was funding him. That's what it was. And she said that when they came out of Love Island, they were both broke. And she basically put him on the map. She put him on. Whatever you see of him today is her. She built that brick by brick. She's the one who was behind all of the business ventures. The one who came up with the ideas, the content. That was her idea. She was literally the brand manager, PR manager, and she was his girlfriend. So that means she was his emotional caretaker. And this is how he repays her. And she's not that much different from Janae, y'all. She was the one leading everything, taking care of him, holding him down. And this is how he repays her. So this is why, again, we're going to go back to my thesis statement, the introduction. I said, explicitly said, that loyalty is going to be the detriment of us if we don't wake up. Black women, especially black women, wake up. That blind loyalty is out of here. If you're the type of woman to be loyal to your man to a fault like this, please stop it today. Do not be loyal to somebody like that. And even till the end, she was still trying to be loyal to him and protect him. But now she's speaking her truth, which she should have done from before. And again, I'm not trying to blame her and say that, oh yeah, like it's your fault. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm trying to help y'all out. And even if it comes down to me, I got to do the same too. If that ever happens, which it won't, to be quite honest with you. I'm just being honest with y'all. I don't play them games. But what I'm trying to say is this. Like, you have to really be selfish, y'all. I learned to be selfish. Y'all want to know when I started being selfish? When I was 30 years old. So she's not that far from there. And I'm glad that she learned at 27. We all have a time when we learn how to be selfish. And if you want to be selfless, make sure that person earns that version of you. He didn't earn nothing. He was using and taking this whole time. And sis thought that that was love. Because that's what she's used to seeing. That's that struggle, love, energy. And now it's gone from one category of a race of a man to another one. That struggle, love energy. It's your energy, y'all. If you operate in that struggle, love energy, it don't matter. It doesn't matter what race of man you end up with. It's going to be the same outcome. Because a man is a man is a man is a man. And a leech will be attracted to that type of energy. He knew she wanted marriage and kids. He knew she wanted a future. She was on Love Island for God's sake. And he used that to build his platform off of her back and her likeness. And didn't even give her credit for it, y'all. That's the worst part of it. And now he's going along and painting and framing her out to be the villain. When in actuality, she's the victim. That's crazy. All right, let's continue. So, next video is this one. Let me pull it up. And then, let me go back here. Okay, stop. Here we go.
As you come on here with your 3-day speech that you put together and your puppy dog eyes, like, I really know you didn't love me. You loved what I could give you until I could no longer give it to you. So please stop lying, Lochan. Please. That's why you've been calling me, not me personally, you've been calling my family, you've been calling management to take it down, take it down. If you knew you didn't say those things before I even stated it was your name, why are you belling off my phone? Why are you belling off my sister's phone? Why are you sending 100 texts? Just because you come on...
Okay, so basically she confirms that, like, he used her, basically, for a come-up. All right, let's continue to the next part. Let's see if there's more, and then we're going to get into the videos that I have to show you guys. All right, this is the last one. All right. Y'all notice her account of the situation is extremely detailed. Again, this is why I'm saying that I'm inclined to believe her. She is given strong, like, reasonable beliefs, or reasonable evidence is what I'm saying. This is all circumstantial. Of course, we don't have, like, receipts, but her account of the situation is extremely strong. All right. Let's listen to the final video, and then let's go to I think she said his name is Lochan. My bad, y'all. Lochan's account. And we're going to watch his video in its entirety and not clipped up, because I'm trying to understand something here. And then we're going to see other videos of where I saw a few red flags. And then we're going to move on to Kenny and Janae. It's already 4:30, so... okay, I still have a little bit of time. I hope you guys are still here, by the way. But even if you're not, you can catch a replay. All right.
Well, I was embarrassed, I was ashamed, and I didn't feel like that part of my story was something that I wanted to share until now. And now I'm not ashamed and embarrassed about it, because I'm one of many women that go through it, but I'm happy that I'm out of that situation. As much as people like to make me look some kind of way. I know the kind of person I am. I know my heart. I love hard. I ride out. I'm a strong girl. But it gets to a point where I just feel like there's a lot of strength in vulnerability. Hence why I started my Becoming Her series. Not necessarily because it was fueled by the breakup. It's fueled by pain. And there's a lot of strength in sharing your pain and surviving it. So you can look at me like, oh, you're a victim, you're embarrassing. But that's my story and I choose to own it.
Okay, so that's her story, and she's right. Yeah. At the end of the day, the truth came out, and she's telling her side of the story, and people can choose to believe her or not, but she knows what her truth is, and I respect her for that. I think that she definitely is brave for speaking out. Oh, she has one more video, y'all. Yeah, this is the last one. I just saw it. All right, let's watch the last one, and then Brianna put out a statement, y'all. Ooh, this is messy, y'all. When I tell y'all this is real messy, it's real messy. But we're gonna read Brianna's statement. Brianna's the young lady who was filmed with him on the cooking show, which I will show you guys after. And we're gonna see her statement. All right, let's play this last clip.
Now, well, I was embarrassed. I was ashamed, and I didn't feel like that's part of my story was something that I wanted to share until now. And now I'm not ashamed and embarrassed about it because I'm one of many women that go through it, but I'm happy that I'm out of that situation. As much as people like to make me look some kind of way, I know the kind of person I am. I know my heart. I love hard. I ride out. I'm a strong girl. But it gets to a point where I just feel like there's a lot of strength in vulnerability. Hence why I started my Becoming Her series. Not necessarily because it was fueled by the breakup. It's fueled by pain. And there's a lot of strength in sharing your pain and surviving it. So you can look at me like, oh, you're a victim, you're embarrassing.
Okay, I think this was the same video. Yeah, I don't know why this creator clipped it twice. All right, sorry y'all if y'all heard this. All right, but at least we heard her speak twice. Okay, so now let's get to Bree's post. Okay, this is all Alandria stuff. Okay, we're gonna get into that after. All right, let's. Ooh, whoa, it's going so fast. Hold on. This went too fast. Oh Lord, yo, people on TikTok. Okay, wait. No music. Okay, sorry y'all. Let's read this. Oh Lord, too fast. Okay, so it says here, Brianna has decided to stay off social media after harassment by parasocial fan base over a man. Wait. Is this the same? Hold on. Is this the same Brianna? I think it is the same Brianna. The Brianna Balram. I think that's the girl that Lewis was with. Hold on. I want to make sure this is tied to this story because at the bottom it says, is it because of Huda and Lewis, which fan base has caused Brianna to call it quits with social media? Hold on. Is she the one who was with the... Hold on. Maybe this is another story, y'all. My bad. I gotta make sure. I'm glad everyone got... I don't know why want to participate being on the internet. Hold on. Let me make sure. You know what? Let me Google this. Hold on a second, Laura. The Brianna Balram? Is that the same... I think it's the same girl that was with... I believe that's the same girl that filmed with... Oh, okay, no, never mind. That's with Lewis and Huda, y'all. Wrong Brie. Oh, all these girls have similar names. Okay, wrong one, y'all. We gonna get out of here. Okay, that's another story in itself. We don't have time to be going through Huda's escapades right now. Okay, so now let's go to Lochan. I hope I'm saying it. Lochan's page, and let's listen to his apology or his whatever statement he put out in its entirety. Then we're going to get to the footage, okay? All right, let's do that. So let's go to Lochan. There we go. And he has... Oh, wow, people are angry. Okay, here he go. Here's his apology, y'all, in its entirety. So we're going to listen to the whole thing in its entirety. Okay, hold on. Why didn't this come up? 1 second, y'all. 1 second. Hold on, it came up and then it didn't. Hold on, okay. All right, there we go. Oh, it's not showing up on the page. That is weird. Okay, I'm gonna just pull it up here. I don't know why. Oh, okay, I think I know why it's not showing up. All right, y'all, just give me 1 second. Let me Windows capture it. Just give me one moment. I'm gonna Windows capture it. Okay, here it is. And let's see if the small media player comes up. Oh, it's still not coming up. Okay, we're just gonna watch it on the page here. Sorry, y'all. I don't have time to do that. All right, here we go.
I was taken.
We're in Florence, so let's get some steak.
What is going on here?
I don't even know where to really begin with this. And my family are pretty devastated.
Growing up,
I don't even know where to really begin with this. And my family are pretty devastated and upset by everything that's kind of circulated in the news and social media from my past relationship. And yeah, it's pretty hard to talk about, but I feel like I've got no other choice now to stand up and defend myself. Like I really wanted Whit and I just to move on happily with our lives and just be happy. I want her to be happy, but it's reached a point where I do need to stand up for myself and talk about this whole incident that is circulating on the internet. About a year into my relationship with Whit, we were on a walk close to my flat. She got her nails done and she annoyingly put her nails in my face and was like, oh, my hands are so clean, my hands are so clean, yours aren't. And I was like, no, they're not. And I was kind of just annoyed her hands were in my face, but it was a very off the cuff remark. I just said, no, they're not. And she looked at me in shock and was like, you're calling me dirty. And I was taken back by that. I was I felt insulted that, my girlfriend who I loved, who knows me, who knows that I would never insinuate something like that, is, calling me a racist and saying, you're calling my skin dirty. So I just want to first off say I've never called anyone's skin dirty, and I would never. Like, that to me is the most upsetting comment. And I think when Whit retaliated the way she did, amongst anything, I was super upset because, this is the girl I love, this is the girl I'm with. And then, it was a very emotional day for both of us. I was getting told, oh, the world's going to see, the racist that you are. And, that was super upsetting for me because, I love her family, I still do. And I didn't care about the public. It was more like, your family, you're going to paint this picture to my family that, I've called your skin dirty, when that never happened. That never happened. And that was really upsetting. And then, on top of that, having the comment to say, the world's going to see the real you. Like, I, of course, was scared because I was like, this narrative of something that has been taken completely out of context is now going to be, shown to the world as it has been done now. And that's why I need to stand up and talk about it, because it's painting this picture of me, that I call her dirty, or I would regularly, refer to her skin as dirty. And this is just I'm trying to explain the context of the scenario so you understand what happened, and it wasn't that. And I had text from Lizzie, and she said, "Brother, you don't need to explain." Like,
okay, let's pause it here. Hold on. I'm gonna pause it because we're supposed to read this. Okay, let's read this together, y'all. Brother, I'll give you call. I guess she meant a call back when I get in. Honestly, I don't even need to know the context or conversation to assure that I know you're not racist. Lock. ! Interesting. So, hold up. If this is so-called her sister, she said, I don't even need to know the context or conversation. Red flag. I know this is not a case study, but this is a red flag, y'all. What do you mean you don't need to know the I need to know everything that happened so I can make an assessment about what was said. So she already off rip is saying that I don't care what it is that you're being accused of, I'm not going to believe it. This is crazy. You don't even need to explain yourself seriously. What? From your background down to your family has been nothing but genuine love. So people don't know how to fake being non-racist? What? This is crazy, y'all. What am I reading? You might be a lot of things, but racist is not one. And I can't believe you'd even bring yourself to explain that when it's so evident. You two are just constantly stepping on each other's toes. Everything's sensitive now, and it shouldn't. I love you regardless. Will give Wit a call back to so silly you too. What did I just read? What did I just read? Y'all, I'm shocked right now. This is worse than I thought. This is worse than I thought. So he doesn't need to explain himself. He doesn't need to explain anything. He doesn't need to do anything because you believe him. And because of his family, and nothing but love has been shown, as if people can't be racist behind closed doors. Come on now. In 2025, we still ain't learned that. Somebody could kiki in your face all day. They could even sleep with you. We're going to get to Jana and Kenny soon. Their family could act like you're the best thing in the world. It happens a lot, y'all. But this is the craziest thing, though. Like, the fact that she said she didn't even want to hear the conversation or the context. We already know we already know what's up, y'all. We already know what's up. Already. It's already apparent to me that, she, again, allegedly, because this is what he's saying. And notice how he didn't even say anything about his friend saying the N-word and his mama talking about her teeth being white in the dark. He ain't say nothing about that. He just said, I didn't say her skin is dirty. I never said that. But what about the other stuff, sir? Where's your statement for those allegations? See, that's what I'm saying. He just picked one. I didn't say her skin was dirty. But what about the other stuff? And you literally using her for clout, taking her money, her funds. Yeah, we ain't talking about that though, but you just want to focus and hyper-focus on the skin statement. Anyway, oh Lord, all right, there's more, y'all, because I think the text message, hold on, let me play just a little bit more and then we're going to stop it, because I already heard enough, y'all. I just want to see the screenshots.
Called her mum, but that's been taken and spun and, made me to basically say your hands are dirty, or your skin, not even your hands, your skin, which it's hard to even say these words because it just goes against everything that I've been raised, coming from like a multicultural background, my mum being Indian, my dad Scottish, Polish, English. It's upsetting and devastating I don't know. And I feel like, ever since the breakup, it's like a constant prod online, whether it be the breakup post, like this is the day he didn't choose me, or, I'm locked out, or other podcasts where, you speak badly about me, but I don't hold any like ill or, hatred in my heart towards, where I want her to be happy. I still do want her to be happy, even amongst all of this mess. And, that's what's so upsetting about this situation, is it feels like, this was done to cause harm. And, it is. So I don't even know what to say, really. I just want to say as well, with the situation on the day where I was texting Lizzie and, her family, I was in panic mode. I was upset. I was devastated that, the person that I'm with is saying the world is going to see you for the racist that you are. And it wasn't even, her family, it was just such an upsetting situation. So me referring to things as a joke in text was me merely trying to diffuse a situation where I was in complete panic mode because, something was being twisted in front of me and I couldn't navigate it, and I was scared and I was upset and I was trying to deal with all these emotions in one day. And, I even got support from Lizzie and her family and saying, don't worry about it. We believe you. It's fine. And, it was squished and it was moved on. But just seeing this being brought back into light, it's not even upsetting just for me, but it's the toll it's having on my family. I just want to put this all to bed and for everyone to get on with their lives and be happy and just stay blessed. Whitney, your family, I still wish you all well, and yeah.
All right, wrap this up. Done. I don't need to hear no more from you, Logan. All right. And then look at his page. All right, we're going to go through his page really quickly. Look at his TikTok, y'all. So he has 124K followers. He has a lot of followers on Instagram as well. And then it looks like he's into cooking. Now, this is the video, y'all. This is the video where people started to be like, what is happening here?
I'm a mommy.
Mommy?
I'm a mom.
Mamacita.
Okay. Well, let me not play this too much because Love Island be tripping. All right, let's go here.
Hey, you.
Us?
Yes, you. Lana has instructed me for you two to have a little make rasta pasta.
What? I'll teach you.
Okay, music. Okay. All right, so it looks like this is what happened. Hold on, let me get out of here. Hold on. Pause. Oh, Lord. All right, so this is what triggered everything, along with, Janae's whole situation and everything that happened. Hold on, let me get this off the screen, because I don't know why it's here. I gotta delete this off. Okay, get this off my screen. Why is it frozen? Hold on, y'all. There we go. Okay. Okay, so we've heard both accounts. Now let's get to the proof is in the pudding. This is what I call the proof is in the pudding and the evidence to prove to y'all that what I believe about Whitney and her account of the situation is more accurate than Lochan's. But before we do that, let me read a few comments. I know y'all are still here. Thank you so much, y'all. Hi, Chi Chi. You say you're still here. Good. Brianna better not defend him. I don't even know who Brianna is. We're going to get into Huda and Lewis another time because that whole situation, like Miguel and Leah versus Lewis and then Brianna, and just a mess, y'all. Just a mess. What's going on with Alandria? Girl, Alandria and Nick, we're going to get into them after. Because by the way, people keep comparing Alandria and Nick to this whole situation of Jana and Kenny and Whitney and Lochan. And they keep saying that Nick is going to treat her the same way. And this is why I say, I keep saying it, I can't stress it enough. Just because somebody is in an interracial relationship doesn't mean that they're being used. You can be used by anybody. What you gotta look out for is the patterns and make sure that that person is actually really interested in you as a human being and not an object to be used. That is it. It is very clear to me that people are just looking at the racial dynamics. Oh yeah, like black women, you should not date. Oh, we're going to get into that because there was one social media influencer, E. Kane, that was talking about Jana and Kenny's situation as if her situation was any better. Because she's in black love, so it's better to be with a black man. You see, that's what I'm saying. This is the dangerous rhetoric that's going around right now. Is that, well, you shouldn't interracially date or date people outside of your race if you choose to do so. Because, again, some people are looking at it as, oh, like, every person you encounter may be racist, so then you gotta not date anyone interracially. And like I said, there are patterns and behaviors. There are black men who are extremely colorist and xenophobic. So it doesn't matter, y'all. They could hold the same conceptions of you, and they could be the same race as you. Same. So, again, we're going to debunk all of this because I'm tired of seeing it on social media. It is pissing me off. Because I'm like, oh no, y'all got it twisted. It is the system you operate in. And again, on an individual level, you're going to find people of different nationalities and cultures that are probably going to be the best human beings that you'll ever meet. But then systemically, do we have an issue? Absolutely, we do. But individually, anyone can harbor those sentiments. When you grow up in a country, especially if your country has been colonized, that means everywhere in the world, you're going to hold some biases, whether you want to believe it or not. So let's dead all that very quickly. Just because somebody is dating a white man or an Asian man or an Indian man or an Arab man does not mean that they will experience racism with that man, I should say. We don't know. But the point is that if you set yourself up to be in a healthy relationship, no matter who it's with, you're going to be able to read and see the patterns and the red flags of that person and their mindset and how they grew up. And so you're not going to compare a Nick and a Landria to a Jana and Kenny or a Whitney and a Lochan. It's almost disrespectful if you ask me. You're not going to compare a Lauren and a Cameron to them either. You're not going to compare. I can give you guys so many examples of couples. You're not going to compare them. Look at Eve and Maximilian. You're not going to compare them to them. It's a whole nother ballgame. That's my point. Oh, Lord. All right. Blue Centric did a great breakdown of this on her. Yeah, she did. I love her, by the way. Oh yeah, I'm glad you're covering Tia and Tamara. I voted for that case. Yeah, a lot of y'all voted for Tia and Tamara, and that's another one. Although her husband was very problematic. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, if you're gonna look at a man and his character, look at what surrounds him. And then we can have that conversation. But don't just think that, oh, he's white, so therefore he is racist. It don't work like that, unfortunately. It doesn't. But I get it. You know, I understand in this climate and this political uncertainty, then yes, I can understand why people have that reservation. But I would expect for people to vet others before they get into relationships. But it looks like some of us can't even do that. So here, that's my job right now. And yes, please follow Blue Centric. She's really, really good. And exactly what I said last week in my mini case study on the live stream, that's exactly what she said. She's actually experienced in that. I think she's a therapist and she's dealt with a lot of couples, and she said exactly verbatim, and she added more to it as well that I didn't even think about. We know, and the reason why women like us are able to see things for what they are, and we're able to pinpoint the patterns, and we're able to say, hey, this couple actually, they can make it, or this couple has a higher chance of making it. Why? We have the experience. We have the experience, but two, it's all about pattern recognition. If you understand how to recognize patterns, you're going to be able to be so successful in this world. This whole entire world operates on pattern recognition, and people usually operate in the pattern that they are the most comfortable with. So once you understand how to look at people's patterns, their behaviors, their backgrounds, and how they move, and how they treat you, that's the main point too. It's like how someone treats you. If they treat you on a human level, chances are that they love you. But if everything about them and towards you is about money, brands, everything that comes out of their mouth is about image, what people think, and then, you know, all of that matters more than you. Again, Whitney and Lochan, child, I don't know how to say that man's name. Lochan, whatever his name is. She had the whole controversy with Inside. And people were sending her racist ass things, y'all. I'm going to go into it right now. And instead of comforting her, because remember, that's his girlfriend, he would rather distance himself away from her. Why? Because his brand was starting to be affected. Therefore, he did not see her as a human. He didn't. And she didn't do anything wrong. Well, okay, she did have a lot of situations that happened at that house where people were upset with her. But what I'm trying to say is that it didn't warrant the reaction that he gave her. It's because she was no longer of use to him. All right, I'm going to read a few more. Saying Blue Centric don't... Yeah, she keeps it 100%. And, you know, sometimes people don't like what she says, but I like her a lot. I love her takes on stuff, and I think that she has so much experience. I would highly recommend you guys follow her. She has some really good content. Tia met her man at the bus stop. Girl, Wanda, wait, don't tell them the story yet. Who Tia married is another one. Okay, don't get ahead of yourself. Don't get ahead of yourself. Yeah, we gonna get into that case study that'll be at least I think it's gonna be at least 3 parts. I'm trying to finish part 1. I already finished it. I just have to edit, and then I have to film part 2. Tomorrow possibly I'm gonna film part 2 and 3. But yeah, that one's an interesting one. They were both sheltered as well. Emotional intelligence coach. Thank you. Yeah, Blue Centric emotional intelligence coach. Yes, and you need to have emotional intelligence to recognize patterns. There was a book I had recommended a while ago. It was called The Power of Nunchi. I'm telling y'all should go and check that book out. Go read it if you can. That is a really good book to help you enhance your emotional intelligence. It lets you understand how to operate in this world, and also how to see people for who they are, not what potential they have. And I'm telling y'all, Whitney should have seen the signs. Unfortunately, she wasn't taught how to do that. So let's get into the other videos I have to show y'all. It's already 5 o'clock. Okay. I'm going to stay here for 1 more hour, so I'm going to hurry this up because I don't want to spend 5 hours like the other day. So let's go through Whitney's videos. Hold on a second. You know what? Let me pull the videos up, and then I'm going to screen record. All right, the next videos I want us to watch is a live stream that she did. So hold on, bear with me, y'all. I'm going to pull it up. Let me pull it up. When they were in New York, and this was a red flag, y'all. I really hope I can find that video. No, why is Leah here? Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Some of the Leah and Janae videos got mixed up here. Just give me 1 second. Bear with me. I'm gonna pull up the live stream because there was a live stream that he did with her, and I did not like that at all. I honestly didn't like what he did, but I'm trying to find that live stream. But in the meantime, let's watch another video, and then I'm gonna try to find that live stream. Okay, so next video we're gonna watch is going to be the basically her experience since she did the show Inside. And also the controversy that followed her afterwards and how she was villainized and seen as a mean girl. Yeah. So doesn't that sound familiar? What I said last week is literally the same thing that she's going through right now. So I'm going to add a Windows capture. So just give me 1 second, y'all. I'm going to pull it up right now. And we're going to talk about this. Here we go. All right. Here we go. Okay. I'm going to play this.
Back and forth on. That's what I think I can say, but it's because I laugh at everything. But I guess not there's a time and place. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But I just be laughing. When it's awkward, I laugh. It's a learning. When it's funny, I laugh. Now I'm just gonna go on TV next time and hold my lips.
Make that ish United States of America. Like,
and do you know what the irony of it all was like? Everyone that was actually defending me, the majority that was saying, they were from America.
And they're going to see a damn thing you did wrong because the UK now is
too sensitive. Whitney, you come to America. Like, how is your own turning on you in the UK? Like, what is this? I was just like, oh my, like, so many Americans, especially so many American black women, was like, what are you lot doing over there? Like, it was so nice to see though.
Yeah.
Like, I think we can talk about the bad, we can talk about the good.
Yeah. And
like, there was a lot of good.
One thing you should focus on.
These are road.
Yeah, when you're not used to receiving hate or you haven't post-Love Island, that's why it's like, even though, again, very much harsh, but you need to focus on the good. You literally have such an amazing community, people that love you, that stand, people that ride for you.
100%.
Okay, so we just saw that she said that she felt so much hate coming from women in the UK. If I have some UK viewers, y'all could give me the context of why people feel that way about her. But basically, she's saying that people had this kind of bias against her, and it's because of how she was portrayed on the TV show Inside. And that she felt like people weren't writing for her and that Americans wrote for her more than people in the UK. And it's very interesting that she said that because, it's very interesting to see the dynamics of how black women are treated both in the US versus the UK. And I think as women in America, again, I'm trying not to generalize, so I'm really watching my words with this, but I think that we have seen this time and time again, especially with how Black women are treated in America and also on television, in entertainment, and we're just exhausted. And I think that now people are starting to realize, especially with this whole election that happened recently, especially in the United States, and how the world is very unforgiving, especially to women of color, Black women in particular, especially Black women, I have to say that. Then people are starting to peep game, and they're starting to see that, hey, like, you know, we need to stick together, and we need to really, really take care of our, you know, the women, because no one else is going to protect us more than we can, right? So I think that that's finally clicking for us in America. And not saying it never did, because I think collectively in the USA and in Canada as well, we tend to really support each other, I would say, as much as we can, right? Of course, there are some outliers, and of course, there's some division and diaspora wars, but at the end of the day, we like to stick together. Now, let's listen to this one. I'm gonna play you guys some more proof, and I'm really trying to find that video. I'm so angry at myself right now. Hold on, let me check my phone. There's a video where they had a live stream together, and he did something that really pissed me off. So let's play this one, though, in the meantime, while I'm looking for that live stream.
Lochan. Every time you can wake up one day and decide that everything that you once loved wasn't enough anymore. Hey, my name's Whitney, and today I decided to become her. I used to adore the spring, the warmth, the light, the feeling that life was returning after a cold, dark winter. But this year, April 4th, felt like a cruel reminder of winter's chill. It was the day he chose to stop choosing us, the day he chose to stop choosing me. And just like that, I found myself alone. I wish I could tell you that there was someone else, and a third to point to, something that would make it easier to understand. But the truth is, maybe it was just one of those heartbreaking moments where it was the right person, but the wrong time. And maybe that's the only trusting reason I can hold on to. I'm strong, but for the first time in a long time, I can admit that I'm broken. I thought that I had everything figured out. The future seemed so certain, and now I'm 27, standing at a crossroad, questioning everything I thought I knew. So many memories, so many plans, so many I love yous that had their last say, and I just didn't know. Now I'm here in my new apartment, surrounded by the quiet echoes of him. The empty spaces feel heavy with the weight of the promises that we once shared, now unfulfilled. If I could talk to future me right now, I think she would tell me that we've been here before, and we've made it through. But now more than ever, you can't let the pain consume you. You've learned too much, grown too much to let this define you. I'm so sorry that this journey will hurt, and it will feel unbearable at times, but you will make it through. I can't promise you that this will be your last heartbreak, but I can promise you with every part of me that this will lead you closer to the woman that you're becoming. So today, I decided to start choosing us. Today, I decided to start choosing me. Follow along as I step into the woman I'm supposed to be.
Okay, so this was the video that she did or made when she first broke up with Lochan. Child, that name. Yeah, when she first broke up with him. And I think that, yeah, she was definitely going through it, y'all. She was going through it. And this is one of the reasons, and you know I gotta bring it up, this is one of the reasons why people are choosing not to believe her. Of course, you know, I think that there's more to it, but I think that this definitely adds layers, and it makes it seem as if, you know, they just had a regular breakup, but there was way more that was going on behind the scenes. And now that it's being revealed, people are just inclined not to believe her. But again, I'm going to show you guys why you should believe her. So I had brought up the video, and for some reason, I took it down again. Y'all forgive me. Hold on. This is what happens when you don't title things. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is the reason. Remember when she was saying in her apology video, she said, that he thought she was too manly and she was too masculine, right? Remember, she said that. She said that. Sis said that, okay? All right. This is the reason why I believe what she's saying. I'm going to show y'all the proof. And this was screen captured. Hold on, let me see if it has a date. April 19th. Around the time that they broke up. All right, so let's watch it together because this one is very important. And I'm going to see if I can find that live stream. I'm trying to find it, y'all, because that one I told y'all it pissed me off. Okay, here.
What can I do to become more feminine? I've been watching TikToks, but I don't think they work. I feel like I've come to the conclusion that I need to embrace my lady feminine era. I feel like the bad B aesthetic, it isn't what you lot said it was. And the truth be told, baddies don't get the good guys. Baddies get the rappers and the trappers. And I want a solid king. Well, I've already got one, but I want him to look at me like this is a trophy wife. Not like she's gonna spend all my money. Like, I don't want that. I want him to actually start looking at me like, yeah. I feel like I need to demonstrate a few things, 1 or 2s. Not too much now, but I just need to like demonstrate and show him like this could be it if you want it. But I just need to like show it. Anyways, yes.
All right, y'all heard her, right? She said she wants to be more of a trophy wife. And she wants to be more feminine. And she wants him to feel like he can spend money on her. Again, she was trying to change her personality. And it's really sad, y'all. This is why I believe what she said, because why would that come out of her mouth? She's trying to change her whole aesthetic. And she was like, oh, the baddie aesthetic is not it. You know why? Okay, I'm going to keep it real with y'all. The baddie aesthetic is mainly for men who are of a certain tax bracket. That's number 1. And number 2 is mostly black men. They love the baddie aesthetic. Let's just keep it real. All right? They like the baddie aesthetic, that whole look. Now, when you're dating men of other races, not saying that they don't appreciate it, but they usually like it a little bit less, I guess. I don't want to say, I'm trying to choose my words wisely, y'all. Okay, they basically, I gotta keep it real with y'all. Look, we're gonna keep it real. We family here, okay? They want it toned down. They want it toned down. They don't like a lot of extra. They actually like more of the demure look, the feminine look, the less is more look, okay? If you look at men of other races, that's what they like. All right? When you look at men who date interracially, especially if they're dating black women, the black women look a certain way. That is true. And of course you have some outliers. There are some men who love the baddie aesthetic, but it's mostly majority people that are of the urban market. So she's basically saying that she wants to look a certain way so that she can fit the mold of the wife for him. That's what she's saying. All right. Now let's watch another clip. I'm telling y'all, there's a few, and then we're gonna get to Kenny and Janae after. But I really want to find that live stream. All right. I know I keep saying that, but I'm gonna try to find it. We gonna definitely find it. All right, let's play this one. So this video is her and her family. So it's her, I believe it's her mom, and her sister. So let's listen to what they're saying and the type of background she comes from. And now this will all make sense as to why she moved the way she did when she was with Lochan.
You can't actually compare Lochan with your dad.
I'm not comparing Lochan with
I was with your dad. I've seen Lochan how he's moving, you understand? It's quite totally different.
Oh, you were just saying, I'm saying behind it.
Young 26 is moving. Your dad dead. Fine.
I'm at 19.
And so?
And then a year later you gave him a child. I would be demotivated too. I would be demotivated.
So what's the difference between 19 and...
Mom,
7 years.
7 years got food and water. It's a big difference.
There is a big difference. I'm not
difference.
gonna lie. 19, like, but even when I look back on myself at 19,
Yeah, 100%.
compared to now, I'm a completely different person.
It's a big difference.
Lochan is actually very, very ambitious.
So you're mad at the cheating, but you got to separate the cheating from the characteristics.
This is 2024. Lochan's on content, social media prime. What, 19?
So I wouldn't say Dad wasn't hard working.
Yeah, I feel like
Maybe like where he was putting in
Not
the
everyone
priorities.
has to say
But I
okay.
wouldn't say he wasn't hard working.
Your father, when he said hardworking, he was just contented with what he had. You understand? Yeah. Like me, no matter what money I made, I'm not contented. I want to move.
Yeah, because you everyone's different.
Yeah, I actually do lifestyle. Understand? Yeah.
That's not good for
Yeah, I can't just wake up in the morning and just be watching TV, and I can't wake up in the morning and my bank account £5,000. You know, I have to move. I love money. Even though I have £1 million in my account, I still have to work. I'm still moving. Yeah.
You're like a typical Nigerian woman.
Yeah,
This
properly.
what men are scared of, it's you.
Yeah,
Nigeria, man. You call
Yeah, what the people, the world are scared of Nigerian women.
So you call,
And it's you. You're the grandmother.
you can't actually.
Okay, so y'all heard that. Yeah, interesting dynamic, right? So basically her father and her mother, they, had a baby at a young age, and it sounds like her father wasn't really involved. I mean, maybe he was in her life, but he wasn't with her mom. That's what I know. That's very clear and evident. And notice how she said that men are scared of you. You're the Nigerian mother, or you're the Nigerian grandmother that men are scared of. And I think that that's very interesting she said that, y'all. Again, when people make these type of statements, it just makes you gotta add that to see why. I wish someone would have asked her, why do you see it that way? Why is it scary? Why do you need to be scared of somebody who has that type of like her mom's mindset, in the sense of like, she said that, what did she say? She was like, she wakes up in the morning, she goes, gets it, she does whatever she needs to do. And for her daughter Whitney, it was scary. And the fact that she said, you're the ones that people are scared of, that's what I need to know. I need to know, why should people be scared of that? You see what I'm saying? And then the fact that she said that she wants to be more feminine, wants to be more wants to embrace her femininity, which is nothing wrong with that, absolutely not. But it has to be something from within. It looks like she was just trying to change herself to fit an image that she imagined of what femininity is. But femininity, you just are, or you aren't, right? And it's, of course, something you can learn to be, but what I'm trying to say is that she was forcing herself to be that. And it's not naturally like something that comes easy to her. But then again, what is her definition of femininity? Just like, what is her definition of scary? These are things that need to be answered, y'all. But let's watch this video. I think this is one of the red flags that I was trying to tell y'all about. And let me go and play this one for y'all. This was one of the big red flags. Y'all gonna listen to this one.
Tell us more about your plan post Love Island. Ring. She's thinking about Ring. I'm just trying to, obviously for me, cook some pasta. Honestly, like, no, the cooking is obviously Whit and I's journey separate. Like, that's going
we're very much
I
different.
think we're both also very kind of focused on doing what we both love, like trying to
Enjoying it.
trying to make the most.
But individually, like, I need to be me, he's gonna be him, but then together.
Exactly. Posh and Bex. Yeah.
What's push
It's like-
sex?
Like Victoria.
Oh, yeah. That's,
So
do you know what I mean? We're not trying to merge.
No. Have our own thing going, but at the same time, it's like together as well. But
Yeah.
I think we're doing everything right, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like we're doing.
I say get that OK magazine front cover.
I say put a ring on it.
Bombastic like that. Put a ring on it, yeah.
Put a ring on it. Harry Bear.
I was thinking
Babe,
whatever.
I'm not lifestyle, but damn.
All right, I want y'all to tell me who's still in this chat. Y'all gonna tell me if y'all gonna let me know what y'all think about what was just said here, because I'm gonna tell y'all what I think. Notice how the host was like, "Hey, are you gonna put a ring on it?" And then he said she would like it, but me, I'm focused on me and my brand right now. We ain't ready for that yet. And I want to focus everything that was said after that was about brand. What was it? David Beckham and Victoria Beckham. Posh and Bex, that's what they said. And then the host even brought it back again. It was like, oh yeah, I still think you should put a ring on it. And then she said, yeah. Notice he said Haribo. What is that? He wasn't interested, y'all. Red flag. The red flags all over. He literally said, we want to have individual brands, and then we'll do it together. But notice he focused on individual brands. He wasn't thinking about them being together like that. I'm being honest. Am I echoing? Oh no! Hold on. Am I still echoing? Say yes or no. Can you fix the echo? There's an echo? Okay, hold on, y'all. Let me fix it. Hold on. Okay, am I still testing? Am I still echoing? Let me know. I'm gonna disable all my other mics. Am I still echoing? Y'all let me know in the chat. Yes or no? Am I still echoing? I hope not. I hope not. When did it start echoing? Hold on. My mic is fine though, but am I echoing? Say yes or no. Am I echoing? No. Okay, good. Thank you. All right. Yeah. I think it's because I had too many mics on, so I just disabled a lot of them. All right. Let me find that live stream, y'all. I'm going to find it. I'm going to find that live stream, and then we'll move on to Kenny and Janae, because that one right there, you're going to see the parallels with Whitney and Lochan and Lochan. Child, I don't know his name. I'm sorry, y'all. Whitney and Lochan and Kenny and Janae. Echo is done. Yeah, thank you. It was the mic stuff. Oh, there's always an issue with this streaming, y'all. This streaming. There's always an echo. All right, let's bring up my TikTok. And then we are going to check that live stream I was telling y'all about. And then we're going to segue to Kenny and Janae. Why did I say Janae? Okay, so let's look for Whitney Lochan live stream. And if I can't find it, I'm going to tell y'all what happened in the live stream. But I really want to show y'all. I could show y'all better than I could tell y'all. Let me see. It was in New York. New York. Let me see if I can pull it up. If I can't find it, it's okay. But I really, really, extremely want you guys to see it. Okay, I'm going to spend one more minute looking for it. If I can't find it, then I'm just going to have to look for it. I have a feeling that it's somewhere on my laptop. I just got to look for it. Okay, I'm going to try one more time to see if I can find it. I think is it this one? No. She had a hoodie on. Okay. I may not be able to find it. Let me just put hoodie. I'll just put live. And then maybe that'll populate. You know what I hate? I hate when you have a video, you search it, you find it, and then when you try to search it again, you can't find it. This is annoying. It's very extremely annoying. All right, I'll look up hoodie. All right, and then I'll tell you guys what it was before we move on to Kenny and Janae. Okay, so for some reason I can't find it. If I find it, I'll show you guys. Hopefully I find it before the end of the stream. I don't want to waste time. So basically what happened is that they were in New York. They were live streaming. And she was just talking. And within the first few seconds of her opening the camera, this man reached. So he was out of frame, but his hand was visible. She had a hoodie on because she cut her hair. He literally took the hoodie off. He snatched it off her head. And then she was like, oh yeah, it's this haircut. I don't like it. And then she tried to put the hoodie back on. And this man was making fun of her haircut on live stream. I'm going to see if I could find it because I really want y'all to see what I'm talking about. But this is where you can see the patterns, the mask, all that stuff. It's apparent. The mask came off and it comes off. I'm telling y'all, if you guys ever want to make case studies in the future, because to be honest with you, I shouldn't be the only one doing this. I mean, if you're an aspiring content creator and you want to make content just like this, or even if you're not a content creator, if you like to see people's relationships, or you want to find evidence and you're going on a fact-finding mission to see who you should believe or not, look at the live streams. I'm telling y'all, the two types of videos you should watch: Q&As and live streams. For some reason, people are just so liberated when they're on those two types of in those two types of formatted videos, those type of formats of videos. The live streams, though, they never lie. I'm telling y'all, the live streams do not lie. They will show you how a person really feels about somebody. It really will. So let's get to Kanae. I almost said Kanae. Let's get to Jana and Kenny, because, baby, this one right here is a big one. It's a big one. It's a big one. All right. We're going to get into them right now. Let's start. All right. So Jana and Kenny, I know a lot of you have already heard that they broke up. It's been about a few days now, probably almost a week. And so much has come out that I remember last week I did the live stream on Love Island and I spoke about season 6, and someone told me that they broke up in the live chat, but I didn't have enough information, so I didn't want to make any speculation until I got all of the facts of the story. And now today we do. We don't even know everything, but we know enough to know that this man is the worst piece of human that, I mean, to use somebody for a year, that's more than demonic behavior. You got to have a certain type of personality. And to me, like, I will say that this is very scary. It's scary. It's almost serial killer type of energy. The fact that you can sleep with someone for a whole year. And not only that, but he hates her, y'all. He hates her. Hates her. This is worse than Whitney and Lochan, in my opinion. Whitney and Lochan is really bad. But this one takes it to a whole nother level. It's scary. All right, let's get into it. I'm going to show y'all screenshots here. So, last week, I believe it was last week, sometime last week, they went to David Dobrik's party. And David Dobrik, I believe he's a big YouTuber. I don't really know people, like, as far as, like, I don't really know him that well, but I know he's a big social media content creator. And he had a party. Kenny and Janae were at that party. And all looked well. They, you know, they showed pictures from the party. They posted on social media. So I'm going to show y'all the pictures that they posted up. So here we go. I am going to show you guys Windows Capture. Here we go. So here, this is Janae at the party. Yeah, I don't know why the screen is not moving here. But anyways, you guys can see her face here. I'm going to exit out of it because I don't like how the screenshot looks. But yeah, that's her at the party, right? And then there's a picture of her and Kenny at the party together as well. Let me see if I can find it online, actually. Let me pull it up for you guys. Let's pull it up. I gotta pull up my window here. Okay, so yeah, Kenny and Janae were at this party. I'm just gonna show you guys on Google because it's just faster. All right, so let's look up Kenny Janae party. Kenny Janae David Dobrik. I think that's how you spell his last name, child. So let's check images. Can you see the live stream? Let's see. Okay, for some reason I can't find it here. All right. Anyways, they were at the party, y'all. They was at the party. There's another picture of Kenny, her and Kenny together at the party. And they look like they were having a great time. And then, all of a sudden, the news of the breakup came out. Well, actually, the news of the breakup did not come out. He got unfollowed by PPG. That's number one. And PPG, in case most of you don't know who PPG is, it's Leah, Janae, and Serena. So the whole friend group. They got everyone unfollowed him from that friend group. All right? And that's why somebody put moments before disaster here. I didn't get to crop the picture, y'all, so that's why it looks like that. So now, they unfollowed him. And then people were like, okay, they unfollowed him. Maybe, you know, it's for the show. Everybody thought like, oh, you know, they're just trying to have some type of drama so people could tune in to Beyond the Villa, because right now Beyond the Villa is being aired. But no, that wasn't the case. Soon after, Miguel unfollowed, and people were like, okay, Miguel unfollowed. All right. You know, so, you know, it's just back to normal, back to usual. We just, you know, he unfollowed, okay. But then Cordell unfollowed. And then that's when people were like, hold up. Because Cordell is very unproblematic. And they were like, okay, wait. If Cordell unfollows, then there's an issue. So then people started to speculate that something happened. And then after Cordell unfollowed, Ariana Madix unfollowed. His agency dropped him or something, but I think some people said he was dropped before. I don't know what happened. But anyways, everybody, it was like the whole world unfollowed this man. Then there was a live stream that Rob and Kendall did. And they were like, wait, what happened? They broke up. Like, someone mentioned that Jana and Kenny broke up. And you could see Rob was very shocked. Kendall, I think he knew something was up already. You know, he knows all the tea. But Kendall unfollowed him. And then Rob unfollowed him. And we all knew that something was serious. So now let's get into what happened afterwards. What was so serious? Because people were speculating, did he have another family? Did he cheat on her? What the heck was going on? And we're going to find out what happened, because this man was living a double life. However, like I said before, there were clues there. But it was hard to catch it. And I'm not talking about on Love Island, because forget about the TV show. For all of you guys, PSA, public service announcement. Do not just go by what was shown on TV. What was shown on TV is one thing. But outside of the villa and how they live in real life, this is where you're going to see everything put to the test. This is where you're going to see people's true characters come out. And if they are really authentic to themselves, then who they were in the villa is going to be who they are outside of the villa. But if they are somebody different from in the villa than outside, then you know that this person is a shapeshifter. And they could transform themselves into whatever you want to believe and whoever you want to believe that they are. All right. So, Be Yourself said, I couldn't be the only one who knew from day one that Kenny never liked Janae. It gave Justine and Caleb. I thought it was so obvious. Yes. I mean, this is the thing with Kenny and Janae. I'm going to tell y'all when I started to peep, he was running game on her. Because I always had that feeling. And I never noticed. You guys have watched a lot of my videos. I have never hyped up Kenny and Janae. Never, ever. If there's any couple that I hyped up from Love Island, especially their season, it would have been Serena and Cordell. Serena and Cordell, to me, are the best match. To me, in my opinion. Because Cordell is very emotionally intelligent. He's just a good man. He's a good human, basically. And he takes her, like Serena, he takes care of her. He puts her into consideration. Everything that he's done inside the villa and outside of the villa, even on interviews, it's like he gives me, him and I would say who else has the same character as Cordell that I could see right now is Nick. Nick and Cordell give me the same type of vibe. And it's that they really love and care for their women. And they treat them with the utmost respect. And I feel like they were the best couple from season 6. As far as Miguel and Leah, I'm sorry, y'all. I hate to say it. But him being around Lewis and him even being friends with Lewis already gave me red flags. And he's friends with Zach from season 7. That should let you know everything you need to know. He is friends with Zach. Friends with Zach, y'all. So, I'm not saying that Miguel's not a good man. I'm not saying that him and Leah are not serious. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying, though, is that I don't see him have emotion like that. Whereas Cordell has his own thing going on. He is not, you do not see him and Serena putting their relationship as like the goal of their whole brand. They are just two people who happen to be in a relationship with each other, but that's not their brand. And I really respect the way that they're moving with it. So I will say that. Now, let's move on to Janae and Kenny. Because a lot of people did not, wait, sorry, sis. Your name was Be Yourself. A lot of people didn't believe in their love. And I think that that's another thing. Sometimes, yes, some people are just negative and they just don't want to see a black woman with a man of another race. However, there are some people who can see the red flags. And so we got to learn to differentiate those type of people. The red flags with Kenny and Janae was apparent the day that I saw when he got out the villa. Remember, Kenny was seen as quiet, romantic. He was crying like a telenovela, crying when Janae was mad at him because he brought Catherine back from Casa. The man was crying. And everyone fell in love with that Kenny. But outside of the villa, though, when he and Kendall went to all them parties and went clubbing, that let me know all I needed to know. And then when that whole situation happened, let me see if I could find it, y'all. Because we gonna wake this up right now. Let me see if I could find it. Okay, half an hour. You guys are going to give me half an hour here. Because I said I was going to get off at 6. Remember, there were black women that were kicked out of their section. I don't know if you guys remember that. There was a whole situation about that. And people were upset. So I knew then and there, because I'm like, hold on. He was with Kendall at the time. And they kicked the black women out of the section. He was there. But people forgot about Kenny and they just hyper-focused on Kendall because we knew Kendall was a self-hater. Everybody knew that, right? But Kenny flew under the radar at that point. But he should have never flown under the radar. All right, so here we go. I found the video.
Girl.
Oh,
why
yes,
Kenny
it's here.
and
Hold
Kendall
on, y'all. Hold on.
USA?
I'm going to pause it. And then let's get it on screen because this is very important. Extremely important. So I'm going to put up my Windows capture. Sorry, y'all. I know there's a delay. But because I have screenshots, I have to make sure. That's not the one I want. I think I want this one. Yep, this is the one. Okay, we're going to watch this one, y'all. So let me put the volume up. All right, and then let's go back, and we're going to listen to this girl.
Girl, why Kenny and Kendall from Love Island, USA 2024 have like a hosting at this club, Like, first of all, it was advertised as a mansion party, which is not a mansion. It is a club with sections. And tell me why we ain't getting there. We was there early, right? So we left. Bitch, I'm not waiting on nobody. I don't give a fuck who you are. Like, y'all know me. Y'all don't know me. But y'all know me. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't care if you have 100,000 million followers on TikTok, bitch. I don't care who you are. I know who I am. Even without the TikTok fame, I know who I am. So I don't wait on nobody. We left, came back. They're there. Girl, why we get in Kenny and Kendall section? Bitch, Kendall personally asked us to get the fuck out of the section. Kendall personally asked us to get the fuck out the section. Like, what?
It's white girl on white girl on
white girl on white girl on white girl. The whole section, we was the only black girls in the section. But look at the face. Face card is crazy. Look at the face. Face card is crazy. Face crazy. So I'm thinking, like, they want mine. You know, he got a purpose or whatever. They want mine. Bitch, he minded. Bad. I asked him for a shot. Cause I don't care. Bitch, I don't want a picture with you. I don't want a video with you. Nothing. Give me a shot. He completely ignored me. And then asked, like, because all the white girls in there, they're fucking with us. Oh, my God, you're absolutely gorgeous. Blah, blah, blah. I love your hair. What's the hairstyle called? Blah, blah, blah. But you have a problem. Like, damn, you don't like black girls that bad?
And then,
it's crazy.
And
it's
then for me,
crazy. It's crazy.
I was feeling for Kendall after he got out because I'm like, he just got all that stuff happen to him. I'm like, I feel so bad for him.
You're kicking us out the section, but you're literally arching your back on hotel bedroom beds. No. But yeah, no, I didn't know it was that bad. I thought he just had a preference. It's not a preference, bitch. He hates. Bitch, it's hate, bitch. He said, yeah, they have to go now. I'm not even offended. It's just a little bit shocking, but not really.
Babe, we still
just have to say,
we gotta cross the street.
Okay, so y'all heard that, right? Y'all heard that, right? Okay, we're gonna watch Nicole and what she had to say about this whole situation, because what she said was extremely important, and again, people didn't catch it because they, you know, she seemed very performative. She was similar to how Sierra is this season, right? A little bit, except she didn't say a racial slur. But people perceived her as being very PR, very fake. You know, that's how they perceived her to be. Now, before we listen to what Nicole had to say about the situation, remember, Kendall had that whole, like, revenge PORN situation going on last year, and he still found time to be racist. And mind you, Kendall has a black family. He identifies as a black man. This is what I was saying. So, same thing with Connor. Connor has a black grandparent, and yet, microaggression came out. Kenny is Dominican, so he has Afro ancestry. I don't know where along the line, but it's there. But yet, still. And another thing we have to take into consideration is that Kendall kicked them out of the section, but Kenny did not stop it. So this is why I said that he flew under the radar, because people were so mad at Kendall because they knew he was a self-hater. But Kenny people should have been upset with Kenny as well, because those women were also in Kenny's section. So it's Kenny and Kendall together. And they had all those women around them. But they didn't want women who look like Janae. And even prior to them going to the club, at that time, Kendall was doing TikToks with Janae and Serena and Cordell, latching onto them. But when it came down to it, he still showed his behind. All right. Well, let's listen to what Nicole had to say, because, again, she went on the Vile Files, and she revealed a lot, but then people were dismissive of it. Oh, hold on. Let me turn it
Apparently, he kicked out, and he lied to me about just like an altercation he had out at the club with some girls. Apparently, he kicked out 2 girls out of a booth who were black, and they think that, yeah, calling him racist, basically, which, again, he's not. I'm not saying that's okay. He needs to do right to make the situation right, which is fine. But he told me, like, again, Kenny's there. Like, I just don't get why he doesn't think that the truth is going to get back to me. It's all these girls in this booth. He told me it was only close friends and family in the booth. Then he's like, yeah, no family was actually there, but I just wanted to let you know, like, what was told to me. And, like, it's just, like, these girls just had it out for me. Like, it's not my fault. Like, I had to invite them to the day party and get drunk with them and post them on my social media the next day. I had to do.
What is that? I don't understand.
Because he wanted to squash the beef and show America that they're good. It was a misunderstanding. Literally the next day, him and Kenny. And he also told me that it was Kenny and him. Kenny and me did this. Kenny and me did.
Stop. What did she say? Let's rewind. Rewind.
I don't understand.
Because he wanted to squash the beef and show America that they're good. It was a misunderstanding. Literally the next day, him and Kenny. And he also told me that it was Kenny and him. Kenny and me did this. Kenny and me did this. Janae also helped me plan this. And I called him. She's like, no, I didn't. I told him he should apologize. I didn't tell him how he should apologize. That's on him. And again, I don't care. Do what you got to do. But he also didn't clue me into anything. I sent him a screenshot of these girls on his story. And he literally is just like, did you not hear about the drama?
Why?
No, why you haven't?
Yeah. Why don't you come to me and tell me? Why do I need to hear it
asking
from, like,
you?
Yeah. Well,
and he lied to me about just like.
We're going to end this one right now. Let's put it down. Let's stop this right here. All right. So she said Kendall was saying it was him and Kenny. And not only that, but he even said that Janae told him to make the situation right. And this is where I'm going to have to hold Sis's hand, because she is the same age as Whitney. So I'm going to be a little bit more, give them a little bit more grace, because I know that this was a situation that they've never been in before. And this is probably their first time dating interracially in a serious manner. But don't you ever, 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 ever brush a story like that aside. How your man treats people outside of your relationship, especially women who look like you, tells me all that you need to know about his character. I'm going to say that again. How your man treats women who look like you outside of your relationship, so strangers, you should pay attention to that. He saw Kenny berating them. He saw Kendall berating them, giving them dirty looks, kicking them out of the section, and he did nothing to help that situation, to kind of soften it. He did nothing of that nature. Janae knew about it because it was public. I remember when I read about it, and that's when I knew what time it was with those two. But I couldn't pinpoint Kenny because, again, he got off scot-free. Then they apologized, and those two women went and partied with them again, and I was like, that was a mistake. I really wish they didn't do it. But they did, and then the whole situation died down. So it just goes to show you that already that was the first instance, and they had just gotten out of the villa, and he was already showing his ass. But let's get to his ex-girlfriend. Let me see if I can find that video too, because I remember that happened as well. Devonta Pittman, sis, you said, yep, I seen that video and Kendall was tagged. And Kenny in the video to a certain person. See, I see why you like going to the gym. Yep, them gym videos, y'all. I saw that video and I'm not surprised. I also don't believe in Amaya and Brian's relationship either. I will never believe that Janae didn't see the signs in a year. Yeah, she saw some signs, y'all. She did. I believe she saw signs. She ignored it up until the David Dobrik party. And I think that's when it became really serious to her. Now, let's get into his ex-girlfriend. Let me see if I can find that video. I hope she didn't scrub it off the internet or somebody got receipts. Because there was an ex-girlfriend that came out a long time ago. I'm going to see if I could find it. Let me see. This was... Hold on, y'all. This was a week ago. No, I need the old one. She was a little... Hold on. No. This was a while ago. This was like from like a year or so ago when Love Island had just aired. It wasn't this Asian woman. It was another woman. Let me see if I could find it. Okay. I don't know if I could find it, but I'll just explain to you guys what happened. I'm sure some of you guys saw it already. So there was one of his ex-girlfriends, not the Asian one that recently came out. It was a white woman. And she said that his type is white women and that he never dates other races of women. And people didn't believe her and they were calling her a hater. They were like, oh, you weren't really with him. You was just a sneaky link and he was just using you and he really loves Janae. Okay. All right, y'all. Oh, by the way, y'all, I found the Whitney and Lochan live stream. Let me play it real quick. I know I'm out of sequence right now, but I want to play it because I put it in the wrong folder. Yay, we found it. Okay, I'm going to play it for y'all real quick. And then you guys are going to see what I'm talking about. And then after that, let's move on to Kenny and Janae and the breakup statement and what he did. And then we're going to wrap this up. Okay, let me play this right here. Here we go. Okay, this screen recording here. All right, I'm going to play it. Look at this.
I want TikTok live. Say hello, guys. I've been on live in ages. Everyone's saying meet and greet. Ooh, it looks like a boy.
Hold on, you see his hand? Hold on. I'm going to rewind it because it was so quick. Look at this.
Say hello, guys. I've been on live in ages.
Look. Y'all see that? I'm going to play it in slow motion. Look at what he did.
Everyone's
look at what he did.
Meet and greet. Ooh, it looks Boy. Guys, I'm changing my hair. Don't even watch that.
Trying to
Look who
take
keeps
that
fussing
off
me.
of her head.
Like, have you ever been in a relationship with a hater? Like,
Show him Darth Vader.
my hood's been up the whole time, and he keeps doing up Star Wars emojis to me, saying I like Darth Vader, whoever the fuck that is. Who the hell's Darth Vader? What the fuck?
Okay, I'm not gonna play the whole thing. Y'all heard her? She said, have you ever been with a hater? So first he was trying to yank her. Okay, I might have remembered it wrong. He didn't snatch it off, but he was trying to yank it off. And then she took it off because she was like, well, I might as well show them. And then she said, have you ever been with a hater? And then on top of that, he said she looked like Darth Vader. I'm going to show y'all who Darth Vader is, because this man, you see how, like I said, the little jokes. And then y'all want me to believe that, yes, he wanted to embarrass her, AJ. Exactly. And hold on, there's more. Hold on, let me play a little bit more of it, because it was mind-boggling to me. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. Like, hold on, there's more. Hold on. And I'm going to show y'all who Darth Vader is. Who he was referencing. Hold on, let me pull up this screen. Let's get this off. Okay, hold on. Let me delete this one. He was, you know who, like, that's why I said, like, pay attention to the live streams, because when a man does that, like, he doesn't, like, why would he embarrass her like that? He knew that first of all, Whitney is a beautiful woman. Whether she has the hoodie on or not is irrelevant. The point is that she didn't feel comfortable with the haircut and the short hair. Remember, Whitney always has long hair, as far as, like, you know, the aesthetic that she has. So the fact that he was trying to do that, it just let me know everything that I need to know about this man. And so that's why I believe what she's saying. I have to believe it. Because look at how he's acting in real, like, on live. He's not even cognizant of the fact that there are millions of people or thousands of people watching, whoever's watching. And even if it's not a lot of people, eventually the video is going to go into circulation. People are going to watch it. Let me fast forward a little bit, because I want you guys to see. Hold on. So he did that.
Show him Darth Vader.
My hood's been up the whole time, and he keeps doing up Star Wars emojis to me, saying I like Darth Vader, whoever the fuck that is. Who the hell's Darth Vader? What the fuck?
We're really doing up live. We're meant to be chatting.
Yeah, 5 minutes. You were just chatting. Like, why? Yes, we are in New York. Wanna be in it? Why don't you be in it? You're the Darth Vader then. Okay then. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
I'll copy you.
Oh, you wanna copy me?
How come you got a filter on your face?
Okay, so I'm not going to play the rest of this, but I want you guys to see who Darth Vader is now, and then let's go back to Jana and Kenny. I know, I'm sorry I segue y'all, but this is very important. That's why I'm making sure I get all my ducks in a row, because I really want you guys to see what the patterns that I'm talking about, and how little remarks that seem very innocent are not innocent at all. And please pay attention to those type of remarks when you're dating, especially somebody who is showing patterns of having biases and racial biases as well. So look at this. Look at who Darth Vader is. This is who he's comparing her to. This is Darth Vader, y'all. This is Darth Vader. This is the kind of joke. And she said he's been doing it all day, calling her Darth Vader. First of all, she's wearing a hoodie. I don't see how that looks like Darth Vader. Am I missing something? I just see a woman wearing a hoodie. I didn't see, like, for me, my mind wouldn't go to Darth Vader at all. Like, I wouldn't even think about something like that. But again, this is who he's comparing her to, Darth Vader. Of all the things that he could say she could look like, he said Darth Vader. I rest my case. All right. That's not the one he's talking about. Okay, wait. Hold on. Wait, what do you mean, LS? That's not the one he's talking about. Which Darth Vader is he talking about? Y'all gonna tell me. Who's Darth Vader? The one character that has the hood on is the one he said Darth Vader. Hold on, let me play it again. I'm gonna tell y'all. Hold on. Because let's decipher this. Which character is it? Write it in the chat box. Because I heard Darth Vader. I'm gonna put it up again, so you guys can hear it. He specifically said Darth Vader. Oh, it's Obi-Wan Kenobi. No, he said Darth Vader. I'm gonna play it louder, y'all. He said Darth Vader. I'm telling y'all. You see this in real time, I'm telling you. Okay, we're gonna listen to it again. I got time tonight, because we gonna nip this in the bud. Listen to it one more time. Listen.
What is that? I want TikTok live. Say hello, guys. I've been on live in ages. Everyone's saying meet and greet. Ooh, it looks boy. Guys, I'm changing my hair. Don't even watch that. Lochan keeps cussing me. Like, have you ever been in a relationship with a hater? Like,
Show him Darth Vader.
You heard him? You heard him. Rewind.
Have you ever been in a relationship with a hater? Like,
show him Darth Vader.
My hood's been up the whole time, and he keeps doing up Star Wars emojis to me, saying I like Darth Vader, whoever the fuck.
What did she say? Okay, rewind again. Because, I mean, I know I'm not British, but I know what Darth Vader sounds like. Let's go again. Hold on. Because I got to prove a point. Y'all know I like to prove points. And no hate to you, sis, but I got to, or
I want
whatever you are, but I got to make
TikTok live. Say hello, guys. I've been on live in ages. Everyone's saying meet and greet. Ooh, it looks boy. Guys, I'm changing my hair. Don't even watch that. Lochan keeps cussing me. Like, have you ever been in a relationship with a hater? Like,
show him Darth Vader.
My hood's been up the whole time, and he keeps doing up Star Wars emojis to me, saying I like Darth Vader, whoever the fuck that is. Who the hell's Darth Vader? What the fuck?
What are we really doing up live? We're meant to be chatting.
Yeah, 5 minutes. You were just chatting. Like, why? Yes, we are in New York.
So, I know my hearing. You listen, I had a hearing test recently, and they said my hearing is impeccable. You gotta have good ears to do the type of videos I do. I listen to things in fast and slow motion. They said Darth Vader not once, not twice, but thrice. 3 times. And he could have corrected himself if he was so unsure of who the character was. Because normal people would be like, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not Darth Vader. Let me go and check it online. Because I Google stuff when I'm not sure. I don't just say things for certain. He said Darth Vader. There's only one Darth Vader in Star Wars. At least I know that. So, no. He said Darth Vader. Now, let's check Obi-Wan Kenobi. Because that's a very specific name. That's a very unique name. It is not like a short name. So, I'm going to pull up Obi-Wan Kenobi. Because, y'all know I like to wake things up. We're going to wake it up today. Obi-Wan Kenobi. So, this is the one you're telling me that he said that she looked like. Hold on. Let me pull up this one. He does have a hood on. But he said Darth Vader. So he didn't even know that's what I'm saying. Okay. If he made a mistake. and he said the wrong character. Why was he so certain? That's my issue. He said it very certainly, as if he knew the name of the character. And it's so interesting that the character that he said, he could have said so many characters. There's Yoda, Obi-Wan Kenobi. There's so many other characters that he could have said, but he specifically said Darth Vader. So obviously we know he's not a Star Wars fan, because he doesn't even know the difference between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi. But also, not only is he not a Star Wars fan, but he referenced the wrong character. And this is the character he thought she looked like, which was Darth Vader. Case closed. And again, I'm not saying that you're wrong, sis. You're right. That is the character, or sis or bro. That is the character that he should have referenced. But again, he doesn't even watch Star Wars that much to not know who the characters are. And he said Darth Vader. That's who he said that she looked like, because that's the only character he knew from Star Wars that he could reference her to. And the most evil one at that. But yeah, that's what it is. It was microaggression, 100%. This is how you can tell what microaggression is, y'all. This is really how you can tell it's microaggression. He knew nothing about the characters, and yet he knew enough to name the worst one, and the darkest one, and the blackest one. So that's why I said that you gotta listen to these subtle little things. And she's just saying, he's a hater. She's thinking about her hair. But me, I'm not paying attention to her hair, because sister looks beautiful either way. To me, she just looks beautiful. I'm not thinking about the hair. I'm hearing what he's saying. And if he could say things like that, then what makes you think that he can't say her skin is dirty? And then what makes you think that her saying that his mom said that, like, when it was dark, where's Whitney? I can only see her by her teeth. And we think that she's lying. Okay. All right, let's get back to Jana and Kenny, because time is elapsing. Sorry, I had to bring these things up. Sorry. We have to debunk a lot of stuff, especially when you're dealing with these type of racial sensitivity and these type of really racially charged cases. I have to make sure all my ducks are in a row. I don't want to accuse anyone of something they're not. So I have to make that very clear. However, it is very apparent that this man has microaggressive tendencies, and this was just in a live stream. That's just one live stream. I didn't even get to see other live streams, and maybe if I can find more proof, I will. But it's not looking good for him. All right, so let's get to Janae's statements, because I had a whole, I had like an entire thing here, but let's bring up Janae's statements. Okay, here, we're going to go on Reddit. All right, so Janae released her statement, and we're going to read it together. I am going to try to read it like this. Okay, we're just going to read it like this, y'all, because I don't know how I can pop it out. Hold on, it's not popping out, so I have to read it like this. All right, it says, "Hi, my loves. Thank you for all your love and support. It means the world to me. As you know, Kenny and I are no longer together. Please know that I have seen all the breakup theories, and none have matched up to how terrible, disgusting, and disappointing it truly is. Discovering that someone you loved isn't who you thought they were, and that the relationship you thought you were building hasn't been genuine since day one has been truly devastating. Thank you for respecting my privacy, and please know, as a child of God, I will always be okay." Amen, Janae. All right, that was a beautiful statement. Now, let's get to Kenny's statement. And then we're going to get to the, hold on. Kenny, Janae statement. That's how I'm just pulling it up like that. Okay, let me see if his statement comes up. Yeah, this is Kenny's statement on Instagram. Okay, so what he wrote is, and I'm going to read it because I don't know why I can't scroll down. I'm going to fix these type of troubleshooting issues before the next stream. "The past few days have been incredibly difficult. I've been quietly sitting with a lot of emotions and doing my best to process everything privately. Breakups are never easy, especially in the public eye. Sometimes, despite how deeply you care for someone, You come to the hard truth that the relationship was not something that could last long term. I'll always be grateful for the time we shared and the memories we created. I release this chapter with no ill will, only a hope that Janae's path forward brings her nothing but happiness. So when he came out with his statement, everybody's like, okay, they broke up. All right, that's it, right? We're used to seeing breakups happen. But no, y'all, there's more. Oh, Lord. So PPG statement. Kenny, Janae. Here, I'm just putting keywords in here. There was an article written by Cosmopolitan here. All right. So let's see what PPG had to say about this. So now, a friend of Janae's. So before we get to Janae's friend, let's skip this. Let's get to Serena's comments. Serena and Leah. Okay, so Serena said, let's all remember this is not a show. Okay, so y'all see her handle here, Serena Page. Let's all remember this is not a show and someone's actual feelings. It may just be tea for y'all, but that's not the case for us. And that's well said, sis. She's right. We have to be careful with how we sensationalize these type of stories and how we tell it because, you know, Janae's going to be reading these things, right? And as much as influencers try to act like they're not on social media, they are. And they see everything people say. And, you know, words can be very hurtful. So I always say you have to do or say things in a respectful way. All right. So now that's what Serena had to say. Now let's get to Leah and others. So then she wrote, y'all already know how I'm coming behind Janae and trust so does he. So they ain't playing with him. Now let's get to Leah. Leah's was very interesting. Leah said at Kenny Rodriguez, okay, shut the F up, you manipulative liar. You not taking accountability and telling people the type of person you really are is insane to me. My first statement was me being nice. Do not piss me off. And then she said, put a sock in it, ChatGPT head ass. Tell the truth for once. Racist, clout, money hungry, and a scammer since day one. Dang, Leah kept it real. She ain't lying. Trying to make it seem like it's something it's not. DW Arne is blessed and highly favored. Okay. And then she had a screenshot here that says, this is the month of clout. And then she X'd out chasers. And then she put demons, shall I say. I guess. And then she put Mercury retrograde taking out the trash. Yeah, they were pretty strong with their statement. So that's how I knew he said something wrong. Then Liv jumped in. Because, you know, they're all friends. And Liv is a ride or die. She's a rider for her friend. She said, your pathetic excuse for a story is laughable. I can't even put into words how good of a person Nene is. And how hard it is to watch her go through something like this. At Kenny Rodriguez, I hope this gives you the clout you always wanted, you effing loser. Damn, they went hard. And then she put in the proof that it was ChatGPT. And then Kayla. Wow, for Kayla to say something, yeah, she's really riding behind Janae. She loves Janae down. At Kenny Rodriguez is a poor excuse of a man you lost. The most beautiful, genuine soul. Shame on you. And even Kendall posted, love you forever, Nene. Of course he going to. He don't want no smoke with this. All right. Now let's get into what her friend said. Because that one is very interesting. So I'm going to try to make this a little larger. Hold on. Let me see if I can, widen the screen. Listen. Okay, we're going to read this together. My advice for women in relationships. If you have access, go through your man's phone today. Search keywords like, I don't like black women. I thought I would get more money from this. I'm faking this relationship. Going on the show would be for clout. I can't wait to be done with this so I can F hella B words. You'll thank me later. P.S. Never spare a man, dog them out, baby girl. And she put the heart. Now, I'm going to let y'all know you don't need to go through a man's phone. If you have to go through his phone, if there's ever a time where you are suspicious enough to go through his phone, then you just need to be done. Whatever it is that you know you're going to find, you already know there's suspicions out there. If you feel the need to go through his phone, that already means that the level of trust is not there. which means that more likely than not he's doing something he shouldn't be doing, which means more likely than not that you need to leave, period. That's just my opinion. I think that by the time you get to the point where you have to check someone's phone, your relationship is already done. So it's done. But let's get into it. All right. Let's go now to videos. And Kenny put out another, another statement or something that he's going to come out with the truth, whatever that is. But let's see what has been said so far, because there's a lot, y'all. And let's see, like, I want to show you guys kind of like some hints that he wasn't really who he said he was. And that's why I said outside of the villa, he was a whole nother person than what he portrayed on the show. So let me hurry this up real quick, because I know I've been on here for a while and I want us to wrap this up. But again, this is a very important topic, so I don't mind talking about this. And I'm off tomorrow too. That's why. But okay, anyways, I know y'all not off, so I can't just hold y'all hostage like that. Okay, so let's go to Jana and Kenny, this video. Hold on, y'all. Let me play it. I want y'all to see these videos. And y'all are going to tell me what you guys notice. The same thing with Whitney and Lochan is the same. I get the same vibe with Jana and Kenny. How he's acting on live stream. He embarrassed her a lot. I never paid attention to their live streams because I never watched them outside of the villa, to be quite honest with you. I wasn't really interested. But doing this story really made me see things differently. Okay, here we go. Let me see if I could. I don't know why I can't pull this up, but hopefully you guys can see this. Okay.
Kenny, why are you scared of Vegas? It's just we're in the movies. That's just the place where people go to, like, just disappear. Hey. That's where people just go to visit. Just disappear and do bad things. Just sin.
Sorry.
Alright, here.
Sorry.
You go here.
Sorry, there's a bug outside.
No, there's not.
There was a bug and then I got it. So you're welcome.
Okay, what did you guys notice? Sorry, I can't scroll it for some reason. I don't know. I gotta fix this setting, but what did y'all notice? Look at this. I'm going to forward it. Look, she put her hand on his face and he automatically moved her hand. She put it on his hair now. Here, and he still was trying to move her hand. Now, I know some people are going to be like, well, maybe he doesn't like to be touched. Oh. Okay, if y'all want to believe that. If you guys really want to believe that. But that's letting me know he didn't like her touching him. That's a problem, y'all. To me, that's a problem. Especially if you're in a relationship with someone. You shouldn't flinch like that. Like, if I touch my husband or he touches my face, the last thing I'm going to do is be like this. First thing is, when he touches me, I'm going to be like, oh, okay. Like, I lean in. He leans in. Why does this man not like her touching him? That's a red flag. All right, let's watch some more, y'all. There's more. Now, this was done 3 days ago. I guess somebody pulled up another live stream, y'all. I'm telling you, the proof is in the live stream. All you gotta do is watch all their lives. After I finish tonight, you can watch their lives and see more hints of this behavior. Okay, let's play this one.
Does Kenny like you? Kenny, do you like me? This bitch. Kenny, do you like me?
That's such a hard question to answer.
Hold on. Sorry, guys. I couldn't play this one properly. Let me play it again. Sorry, y'all.
Does Kenny like you? Kenny, do you like me? This bitch. Kenny, do you like me?
That's such a hard question to answer.
Happy bitch. Anyway. Oh, I got questions. I love you, Jeanette. I love you more.
You should let them...
Does Kenny like you?
Okay, so this one, people could say, okay, it's a joke. All right, we're going to let that one slide, right? So this could be a joke. Because, you know, sometimes people make jokes. Do you like me? Yeah, no. Ha, 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 ha. Okay. So we're going to let this one slide. But let's play more because, again, it's the pattern. When you see, okay, again, patterns of behavior. Patterns of behavior. When he's on live stream, what type of character does he show? So far, I don't see, like, of course, there's sometimes he could probably be loving, but let's see when he's loving, because I want to show him in different lights so you guys can hear them and see them, right? So let's play this one. And one thing I did notice, after we watch this one, you guys are going to notice that he has this reputation of being very possessive. That's not the first time I've heard this. So we're going to watch this one. I really wish I could make this. Hold on. You know what, y'all? Just give me 1 second. I'm going to pop this out of the screen and then try to make it look proper. And then I'm going to add another Windows capture because I'm tired of it looking like this. So just give me one moment, y'all. Give me one moment. What's the name of this one? Windows capture. No. It's not this one. Can I find it? Can I find it? Okay. Is it this one? No. All right. I don't know. For some reason, this is not playing properly. So, okay, we're just gonna have to play it the way it is, and then I'm gonna edit this differently. Hold on, y'all. Let me get rid of this one. Okay, I'm just gonna play this one. Yeah, I don't know why it's not doing it. All right, here we go.
4 or 5. How's back? You guys want to see another picture? Oh, Kenny's have to go now. Kenny's mad that I'm having fun.
Oh, here we go.
It was me. Okay, guys.
Okay, I'm gonna make it smaller. She buffered, y'all.
Oh, here's another picture. That's me in the car. Isn't it? Wow, it smells. I have to go, you guys. Kenny's have to go. Thank you, Gabby. Thank you, Ariana. Thank you, Valeria. Oh, I get it now, Valeria. Thank you, Gabby. Stay, mother. Well, you guys have to ask Kenny if I can stay. Kenny said I had to go. Everybody say, Kenny, can we stay?
Okay. So, Kenny told her to leave, so she gotta go, y'all. She gotta go. That's what that was. And you're gonna notice more instances where he speaks to her in a certain tone that I didn't appreciate, to be quite honest with y'all. So I'm gonna play more footage, y'all. Hold on. No, let me get to that after. All right. We gonna get to this one after. Okay, sorry, I keep clicking on the screens. Okay, let me show that one instance. Just give me 1 second, y'all. I gotta pull it up. Okay, here we go. This is the one I'm looking for. Okay, we gonna show the screen. 1 second, y'all. 1 second. Bear with me. Okay. Here we go. All right, we're gonna play a few more, and then we're done. Because I got a point to prove. All right, let's make this a little smaller. Yay, it can fit the screen now. All right.
Do you get a nose job?
Dominican?
Do you get a nose job because your nose is perfect?
Who said that? Have you not seen my TikTok scroll to the bottom?
Yeah, that's why in the Get Ready With Me, the makeup, I said she's touching up that delicate nose.
Fucking
You know.
I do really need to say
Very
that.
fragile. Very fragile, that nose.
Oh, you got jabs. Can you please pin a comment? Oh, I missed it. You missed it. It's like, can you please pin a comment? But
Do the upside down TikTok.
oh yeah, we are. We're gonna do it
do
tomorrow at the pool. When are you going to the state fair? Hey, okay. So I have a
Sinead,
question.
we love you from Democratic Republic of Congo.
Just Congo.
That's the DRC.
Is Janae Leo? Why would you think I'm a Leo? I have a question, you guys. Isn't there like a really important week for the Dallas State Fair that all of the...
Yeah, OU versus Texas.
When is that?
The October 13th.
Oh, I'll be busy, sorry. Why'd you do that?
passionate team member. Okay, so here at least he showed a bit of affection here. We could give him a half a point for that. Now notice in the beginning he was talking about, first of all, you know when you are on live, you see a lot of comments and stuff, especially with them because I'm sure they get a lot of hate comments. Why did he have to read that one? And then he was talking about her nose job. Again, this is, and then he was talking about, oh, when she puts makeup on her delicate nose. That's the energy he was bringing, y'all. That's the energy. Oh, there's more, y'all. I got a few more, y'all. Probably like 3 or 4 more, and then I'm gonna leave you guys to it. And I also wanted to show you guys the perception, but I don't know if we have enough time for that. But either way, okay, we're gonna show a few more. Hold on, let me make this one a little smaller so it fits in the frame. Just bear with me, y'all. Let's try to make this smaller. Okay, play.
Question. I have a question. Everyone, go follow Sophia. I have a question. If I'm just on me and Kenny's driving and I don't show Kenny, will be fine, right? Damn, Sophia. Oh my gosh, bless your kind, so beautiful. Oriana's about to beat. So
I'm done telling you to put your seatbelt on.
I'm sorry.
I'm done telling you to put your seatbelt on.
Valerie sent 500 and now Oriana is right behind her. Orisa, oh, you want to play me?
Okay, so here.
I'm done telling you to put your seatbelt on.
Valerie sent 500 and now Oriana is right behind.
Again, like, I get he's frustrated. She doesn't have her seatbelt on. But again, it's the tone. I don't know. For me, it's the tone, y'all. It's the tone. I don't like his tone. I don't like his tone. All right. There was another video, y'all. Here. This man, this is the worst one, I think, of all the videos that he's done with her. This one is the worst one. Y'all gonna notice this one. The other ones were, okay, speculative. Maybe it could be, maybe it's not. Whatever people want to believe. But this one right here, I really didn't like this one, y'all. This right here, when y'all say the embarrassment, look at that. This man had her on live stream like this.
I don't want any more Kenny.
This is my first time interacting with a drunk Janae in the wild.
I love the flowers.
How am I doing, guys? Me dealing with a drunk Janae in the wild.
I'm not drunk. I'm not drunk.
Okay, here, enjoy the rest.
I don't want any more. Sorry. Can you take my makeup off? Oh, thank you.
Eat up. Eat up. Eat up.
Can you take my makeup off? Can you please? I'm really tired.
Mom and Dad and their son Kendall. That's crazy.
Mom and Dad and their son Kendall's crazy. That's really fucking funny. Thank you for the flowers, Ray.
This man had her on live stream while she was drunk. She said she's not drunk, but I'm convinced she was. And he was like, oh, this is my first time interacting with drunk Janae in the wild. And he put her up so the world could see her looking like that. What's supposed to be a moment between them? Because usually, yeah, sometimes, you know, when you get tipsy, you get a little flirty and stuff like that. And, you know, your partner can appreciate it, but it's private. This man had her on live stream like that. For what? The views. The clout. The clout. And speaking of clout, hold on, there's more. I'm going to try to find this video on Reddit for y'all. And then I'm seeing your comments, by the way. I'm just not saying them because I don't want to take too much time out of the video, the discovery session we're doing right now. But yes, all of you guys are spot on with your assessments. Absolutely. Absolutely spot on. Let's get to Miguel. What Miguel said about Kenny. Let me see. Yes. Hopefully Love Island can leave me alone with this one, because you know they love to copyright strike your girl here. But I'm gonna play this one because it's very important. So this was while they were on Love Island, and Miguel called it, y'all. He called it. Hold on. Let me get out of this screen. Okay, you guys are gonna see it like this because I don't know how to pop it out of here. All right, I'm gonna play it. Oh, hold on. The volume. Okay, let's put the volume up. Okay, y'all gonna listen to this one. And shout out to Love Island Reddit.
Boy is only here for clout. Oh. Surely.
Why? Whoa.
All right, let's listen to this one more time. Just one more time.
Boy is only here for clout. Oh. Surely.
Why? Whoa.
So, Miguel called it from years ago. From 2 years ago. He said, which boy is only here for clout? And he chose Kenny. How does Miguel know? Trust me, Miguel knows a swindler too. I mean, mind you, he was friends with Lewis for a long time. And he's friends with Zach. Y'all call him Piano Keys Teeth. Whatever they call that man that was on Love Island Season 7. The one who tried to play with Amaya and Alandria. That one. So it's very interesting that Miguel clocked it. Because, hell, he knows what a clout chaser looks like. He knows it. But nobody picked up on it, though. All right, let's watch Beyond the Villa. I'm not probably going to play the volume, but I want you guys to see the subtitles. Because, again, Love Island loves to copyright strike people. Hold on. Where's the volume? Hold on. We're going to turn this volume down. Hold on. Where the volume at? Oh, it's my volume. Okay. I'm going to speed it. I'm just going to do this. So look at this. They both were filming for Love Island, Beyond the Villa. And he lives in Houston. She lives in Vegas. So this is the first time that they could actually be together and live together in the same space, at least for the duration of this show being filmed. And he didn't even want to. So I believe that this is what made her suspicions and her red flag radar go off. And that's when she started checking the phone at the party and she found the racist group chat where he was calling her all types of N-word allegedly. He allegedly was talking to people about how much he hates being with her. He doesn't like being with her. And that basically he used her from day one. Because remember, he was part of the bombshells that were sent in the villa, so they watched the show and they knew who to choose based off of, like, you know, who was checking for people, and they could kind of get an indication of who was the weakest link. Unfortunately, she was weak at that time because she wasn't paired up with anyone, so she could have been voted off the island really quickly. And also, I think that do I think he was physically attracted to her? I don't even know at this point. This man did not like her touching him at all. At least with Whitney and Lochan, at least he acted like he liked her touching him. But with this one, he did not like her touching him at all. So let's skim through this. Look at this. His apartment, her apartment. They're living in separate apartments in the same building on the same floor. Does that not sound weird to y'all? That is very weird. And then sis was questioning him about it. And he just didn't want to stay with her. Why? Because he wasn't interested. He wasn't in love, y'all. And then his ex-girlfriends came out with allegations. And they were saying how he's always been an F-boy. And he always messes with women who do not look like Janae. Now, I'm going to play one more video, but it's kind of long. This one is more of a racial video, so I want to play it just to end this. We're going to wrap this up right now. And I just want you guys, like, in conclusion, before I play this video, because this is coming from a Dominican woman. And I want her to speak for her community because I don't want to speak on a community that I do not know. However, my community, my parents are Haitian, they have experience with Dominicans. And let's just say that it definitely is historical, this whole anti-blackness situation. I'm sure you guys all know if you have studied or know historical facts about the Dominican Republic. And then Janae, she came out with a video saying, oh, you know what? Let me play that video, y'all. Hold on. Because I like to give you guys a wrap up, like a good wrap up. Let me see if I can find this video. Because you said very weird in this recent episode, she said that he humbled her. Yeah. AJ, I agree with you. She should take him to court and sue him because he knowingly used her for the views. He used her and he literally slept with her and he deceived her. She was just a hole with a woman wrapped around it. Yeah, I mean, that's how he saw her. And unfortunately, a lot of men think that way. There are a lot of colorist and racist men who will sleep with women that they despise. How many times have you seen men do that? This is not out of the ordinary. It's just being amplified because it's an interracial couple. But I'm here to tell y'all that it happens no matter what couple it is. No matter what couple it is. So that's what I want everyone to, that's why I'm making this video. Because it will let you see how these type of tendencies happen. There are a lot of, and I don't want to, again, this is not a video about black men, so I'm trying not to bring them into it. But I will say that you don't know how many black men I know in real life who have wives that they are not attracted to, period. But it's just the woman that they were able to get, so they settled with her. And then when the kid comes out a certain skin color, or they have a certain pigmentation to them, I don't know why the word is escaping me. Complexion. When a child comes out with a darker complexion, you'll see all of that anger, all of the self-hate, all of that is vitriol is spewed to the child because that's how they really felt about the mom. I'm telling y'all, it's deep, y'all. It goes deep, even within our own community. So let's not get it twisted. Let's not get it twisted at all. These are patterns that you have to watch out, just period. Whether they're black, white, Asian, whatever. Anyone who has been held in any type of country that has a history of colonialism, racism, imperialism, they are going to, more than likely, they were taught to have those type of views. Now, some of us unlearn it and some people don't. It's just how it is. And especially in their families. Now, let's get to Janae. And I really didn't like this video, too. I'm telling you, sis, I get sis is trying to, not get the family implicated in this. And I understand that. But I think that she spoke too soon on this because she doesn't know. But I guess she doesn't want them to get hate. So she's thinking like she should defend them because, they were good to her. And it sounds the same as what Whitney's family said about Lochan. Lochan, sorry. I keep saying his name wrong. But at the same time, I don't think that she should, I really, honestly, y'all. Okay, y'all gonna listen to it. I tell you I'm tired of this one. Hold on, not her. I'm just talking about this situation because it's so annoying that it keeps happening over and over and over again. And unfortunately, I think that we need to call it out and we need to keep talking about it so that women can be aware of this type of situation happening. Hold on. Where is it? Here we go. All right, y'all. So let's watch her video here. Y'all gonna hear what she has to say.
You guys, if you genuinely love me, if you genuinely care about me, you want to help me heal, I'm begging you, please leave Kenny's family alone. That family did nothing wrong to me. They were nothing but kind. Everyone I ever met always defends me, always stood up for me. Do not go to their house. Don't go to their jobs. Do not threaten them. I'm begging you, leave them alone. They've been through enough. They've been apologetic to me. They've always been nice to me. So I'm begging you guys, please leave Kenny's family alone. I'm trying to close this chapter. It's getting stressful. But if you guys could do anything for me, can you guys just leave it alone? Like, we're done. We're moving on. But as family, we're always so kind. So kind to me. So I'd appreciate it if you guys would leave their home, leave their jobs, everything. It's not okay. I do not think that's okay. That's just not funny to me. Please.
Okay, so I agree with her in the sense of, like, people shouldn't be going to people's home and harassing them. Especially
You guys,
since they had
if you
nothing to do
genuinely
with
love
this,
me,
right?
if you genuinely care about me, you want to help me heal, I'm begging you, please leave Kenny's family alone.
Okay, here we go. I get that. However, where did he learn this from? That's the most important question that sis should be asking. Where did he learn this behavior from? And usually it starts at home, guys. Racism, colorism, featureism, texturism, it starts at home. I refuse to believe that he just grew up in a very racially conscious household and he's just the outlier. And somehow he learned this behavior from outside and from external forces that were not in his household. I refuse to believe that. It starts at home, y'all. It starts at home. Where did he learn this type of behavior? Where did he get this type of mindset that dark skin is not beautiful? Where? Y'all gonna let me know. Where did he learn it? School? Work? You're telling me his family had nothing to do with this? We don't know, but yet, listen, my spidey senses are telling me that it's learned behavior, and it comes from somewhere. Racists raise racists. And yes, some kids, they learn to get rid of that bias, and they know that their parents are wrong. Or grandparents or whoever. But you're telling me that out of nowhere, he's the child in the family, he's the son, and yet somehow he just learned this from nowhere. Nobody taught him this. He learned this from outside. Not in the home. And their home was loving, and they treated black people very well, and they never had these type of conversations around him, and somehow he learned how to be the most racist piece of shit person and treat his woman or ex-girlfriend like that. Somehow he learned it by himself. And so now she's defending the family because they treated her well. And I'm like, girl, you don't know. You don't know these folks. All right. So now, ending. We're going to end with this video because I've been on live for a long time. We're not trying to make this 5 hours like last week. So this is the last video I'm going to play tonight. And I think that I've said more than enough. And we're going to hear from this woman because I think that what she said is very extremely important, especially for women who want to date men of the Latino race, especially if they're from the Dominican Republic. Y'all gonna listen to sis, and then we gonna wrap this right up.
Dark-skinned Dominican man dates a dark-skinned Dominican woman, or a woman my color or darker or black passing, it's because they're in a condensed, heavily populated area of Afro-Latinos. But if you were to put a lineup and there were Euro-Latinas and Afro-Latinas and he had to choose, he's gonna go for the Euro-Latina. I've seen it happen a million times. Understand the Dominican culture, the foundation of it is exploitation, racism, colorism. Okay? And so just because some of them move over here doesn't mean that they have completely erased that type of mindset. Okay? I've even said that I grew up with extremely colorist mother that was colorist towards me. And I'm her daughter. Who would always tell me, go fix your race, go fix your race, go fix your race. Now, my whole life, I've always liked dating foreign guys. But the reason why I had a hard time dating American black men here is because of the things that they say about, you know, Latinas. Like, oh, you're pretty because you're Latina. Or they'll say things that I'm just like, okay, this is making me uncomfortable, right? And then they'll still play in my face, like, what? Like, they almost assume that I'm subservient and ignorant and, you know, I do what I'm told because I come from this specific culture, which is something I really don't appreciate. But yeah, seeing what Kenny has done to Janae, not surprised. A lot of light-skinned Dominican men want to be white. And if they don't want to be white, they will always choose a Euro Latina or a white woman, white American or European woman, over an Afro Latina. Dating for a woman of color is hard. It sucks because if you date somebody that's your own race or your own, matches your features, you guys share the same features, you don't know if they really love you for you or they're just settling for you because they didn't have the option of being with a Euro Latina or a European white woman. And if you get with somebody that's outside of that, right? Someone that's white, as a woman, you date somebody that's white or Euro or whatever, you don't know if they have some deep-seated underlying hate for you that only comes out when you guys are having problems. And I also noticed that a lot of Dominicans love to move to Spain, as if these people in Spain want them there. They get so desperate. And this is both Dominican women and men. They'll move to Spain, try to get themselves a Euro Latino. They'll try and date a Euro Latino because that's the closest thing that they could find to a white boy that they see on a Hollywood movie, like Brad Pitt or something. And oftentimes it doesn't work out because there's that underlying racism. Or they stick around and uphold the racism because they genuinely believe that if it isn't white, it isn't right. Okay? Some of these girls and guys come to this country and they'll specifically only date white people or European people. And then they'll realize there is no passion, there is no sauce, there is no seasoning here. What the fuck? But they need those papers, so they'll just go ahead and do it. But they're miserable. And then they turn around and go play them with another Latino. Or, like I said, they'll change their mind completely about wanting to be here in America, and then they'll go to Spain because they want to be in proximity to whiteness so bad. It does not matter if they're not wanted in that country. And I'm not saying that there isn't Afro-Dominican men that don't love their Afro-Dominican women. I just have picked up on the pattern of this whole arregla la raza, adelantar la raza, fix your race thing, still very prevalent in Dominican culture. And one thing I noticed when I was in Dominican Republic talking to my cousins, I was sharing with them how in America, colorism, texturism, featureism, racism is like a big thing. And it's the same thing in Dominican Republic, but because it's so woven tightly into the fabric of Dominican culture, nobody notices. And as I'm having this conversation, I could literally see the wheels turning in their head. Like, I have experienced this. They have said this about my nose. They have said this about my hair. They have done this. They have done that. But it's like they're under a spell. I remember when I was 16 years old, me and my mom were having a feud, and she called the police. The police officer is Dominican. I was telling him, hey, the reason me and my mom are fighting is because she's being racist towards me. And this man looked me dead in the eye and said, pero así es la cosa, así es. Like, that's just how it is. Esa tu mamá, tú sabes, ella lo que te dice que... I'm like, I don't want to hear she's my mom and what she's saying is right. No. But this is a cop trying to mediate. This is a cop trying to mediate the situation, and he's siding with her colorism. It's a problem. I don't know who's going to change it. I don't know what's going to happen for it to get better, but shit. Usually.
All right, so y'all heard sis, and I believe everything she's saying. And look at her. She's not even dark skinned, and she's experienced colorism in her own family and with her own mom. So I can imagine the mindset that they had, or they have, in the Dominican Republic, y'all. And another thing I have to mention, I'm going to read a few more comments too, and then I'm going to wrap this up, is that if you look at season 7 with Pepe had a type. Pepe Garcia, he had a type. That's what everyone said. He liked his women blonde and white, right? But even though he had a preference and a type, he treated all women with the same type of respect. I want y'all to peep that. You guys are going to watch season 7 back and notice that he treated every single one of those women in the villa with respect. And I'm not saying that he's perfect. I don't know his, we don't know what may come out in the future, but I can bet my money on the fact that nothing's going to come out about this man. Because he had the utmost respect for all the women in the villa, whether they were his type or not. So, I want to say this, that a lot of men are going to say, well, it's a preference, it's a preference. Okay, go be with your preference. That's fine and dandy. But how you treat other women that do not look like your preference is where we're going to see who you really are. Who is Kenny? He's a scammer. And not only that, but he's the worst type of scammer. He's the one who will use your body, your mind, everything that you have and destroy it. And again, Janae was behind his brand. This man was working in sales. He was content with his job. He doesn't have the personality to be on his own. So that's why he was hitching himself to Janae. Janae was the clout. Whitney was the clout with Lochan. So now, 2 men lost their clout. Lochan, at least he got his little cooking channel, whatever he got going on. Whatever he's doing. Kenny doesn't have anything. Except for Janae. So she's taking everything from him at this point, as she should. And one last thing, I think that he said that he's going to wait, hold on a second.
Rolling? All right.
I think this is it.
Hold on a second.
Rolling? All right.
He's supposed to tell his side of the story. Let's watch this. Hold on. I didn't even see this video yet.
Rolling? All right.
I think this is it.
Rolling? All right.
Okay. So we're gonna see Kenny's side of the story, y'all. And I'll come next week and give you guys the update on this, because I'm very interested to see how he's going to spin this and how he's going to make excuses for this. Now, I'm going to read a few comments and then I'm going to wrap this up. You said his mammy... What? Hold on, let me go back. Hey, sis. Hey, Marie James. How are you? You said not saying people should attack the family. However, he learned his behavior from somewhere. Bingo. He did. Ain't no way. And let me tell you something. That's another thing I have to tell you guys, is that my parents raised me to love everybody. They said whoever, no matter their race, gender, sexual orientation, you're going to respect them. As a human, you're going to respect them. Even if they do not share the same belief as you, even if they don't share the same mindset as you, if they respect you, you respect them. It's earned. So when I operated in this life, the way I operate is from those fundamentals. Everybody is a human. We're all equal. My father, he told me women are equal to men. Do not let a man make you feel otherwise. That's how I operate in this world. It's taught behavior. If my parents were racist, best believe that my mindset and belief would mirror theirs. Yes, I could probably unlearn it, but some of those biases would still come out. So he got it from somewhere, y'all. And more than likely, it's from his family. And whatever they say. Same thing with Lochan. We saw that Darth Vader comment in real time. It just came out, slipped out. And he was just laughing. As if it was the funniest thing in the world. And sis didn't even know who Darth Vader was. She said, Darth Vader, whoever the hell it is, I wish she knew who he was. I wish. Because sis should have Googled it and be like, who's Darth Vader? Let me check. Yeah. All right. Let's continue. The external forces reinforce what he learned from his family. Exactly. And external forces, family, extended family, all of them. What they say around the table, the dinner table, it matters. When they meet around for Christmas, New Year's, for parties, that's what's reinforced. And and remember, I believe he's the one, yeah, he is. Kenny went to an all Caucasian high school. and university. I remember somebody said that. I gotta look it up. I'll find it next week because we're gonna do the update about this whole situation with his statements. He went to an all Caucasian school. Again, who was he around? What kind of school did he go to? If he went to a school that was extremely diverse, I'm not saying that he can't be, but chances are that he was able to interact with people of different races. That decreases the biases. It's supposed to, anyways. Who does he hang around with? He's been only around a certain type of group of people. In his group chat, they look like the group of people that he went to school with. Lochan, his friends saying the N-word, and they don't even look like this. That's who he hangs out with. He films content with people who look like this because that's his audience. But in real life, who does he hang around with? People who look brighter than him. I'm going to bring Sierra. Yeah, Sierra, you're catching a stray here. Season 7 Sierra. Yeah, she's friends with Shelly and Andreina outside of the villa. But who's her friend circle? She went to a sorority. She went to a university and joined a sorority where people look like bright and brighter than her. And matter of fact, one of her homegirls, Brooke Schofeld or whatever her name was, said so many racist things about Trayvon Martin. And she was in high school when she was saying all that stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Look at who they surround themselves with. And that's why it's so easy and comfortable for him to make those type of jokes in group chats. He's been doing this, y'all. And he probably, to be honest with you, I believe he's been part of group chats that have said worse about black people that he doesn't even know. But now he's dating one, so at least he could include her in on the joke. And he's probably sending pictures about her to his friends. Because we don't know what sis saw in the group chat, but it was enough for her to know that this man was disgusting. And he was a racist. Whew. She said they were always good to her. I'm sure it's because they were always getting money. Yes, LS, 100%. Where the money resides. Didn't Amaya also have some colorist comments that surfaced? Yes, she did. She did. Nick also had an ignorant statement he made when they were dissecting cats. And then he put hashtag Chinese. Yeah. Even though he said that that wasn't what he wanted to hashtag. But the damage was already done, y'all. So it's like, that's what I'm saying. It's learned from somewhere, guys. And no matter what it is, whether it's subtle, whether it's micro, macro, when you see those type of things, just see the pattern. Sometimes, yes, people are unaware and they can say biased things. I understand that. So that's why you have to be on guard. But if it's a repeated behavior, then it's a pattern. And if it's a pattern, it's likely how they operate. And if that's how they operate, then you in danger and you need to get up out of there. This ain't gonna be a get out situation. Shelly, better be careful. Yes, be yourself. Oh, we're gonna touch up on that. I just didn't have time today because y'all saw I did a 3-hour mini case study about Whitney and Lochan and Jana and Kenny. But Sierra's using her 100%. 100%. She's using her in Andreina. First of all, I'm gonna just say this real quick because I gotta go. But first of all, the fact that this whole picture came out when Alandria was in Greece with Nick, that should let you know everything you need to know. But I heard some people say, oh, like it's Andreina that posted it and Sierra had nothing to do with it. All right, y'all can believe what y'all want to believe. Y'all could believe what y'all want to believe. Yeah. All I know is that picture was put to the public on purpose. And it was to show that they were on her side. Like, it's the optics. That's what I'm saying. And now, what I'm trying to say here is, do I think that Shelly knew what was going on? No, I don't. I think she's genuinely friends with them. And I don't think she thought anything of it because she said that she would meet up with them after the villa. And she said that on her Key Palmer interview that her and Sierra were still in contact. I'm not surprised. However, the fact that Andreina uploaded it, knowing, because think about it, Sierra's in the picture. She knows that. Come on, people are not stupid. They know the type of controversy that she's going through right now. And on top of that, Nick and Alandra had just posted that they were in Greece together. And then all of a sudden, this picture came out. It was to cause tension between her and Alandra. And then as soon as that picture was posted, people went crazy on Shelly, started calling her all types of names, all types of backstabber. All that smoke was geared towards Shelly. Why? Because she's the closest to Alandria. And Sierra knew, I'm telling y'all, even though she didn't post the picture, because she knew if she posted the picture, people were going to directly know that she was involved in this. She's always that sneaky person. She always going to do it on the back end. She been like that. She doesn't like to, let me tell y'all something. She the type of person, she going to throw rocks and hide her hand. She been like that. She's always sleuthing in the background. That's how she operates. And she going to use whoever she needs to use. So this time she used Andreina. Andreina posted it knowing damn well that this was going to cause chaos. And I know some people will be like, well, it was innocently posted. They ain't nothing innocent. You knew that Sierra just posted her Q&A, whatever the hell she did, about her whole situation with Nick. And then all of a sudden, Alandra is with Nick in Greece. They're there for a photo shoot. They're doing their little vacation or whatever. And then somehow, Shelly's involved in this. That's what I'm saying. It's all planned. And they knew what they were doing. Unfortunately, for them, they don't know that they're being used. Because this girl, like I said, she doesn't have friends that look like them outside of Love Island. That should tell you all that you need to know. That should tell you all that you need to know. She doesn't hang out with people. Her friend group is not diverse at all. So, again, using them for clout. She's doing it in a different way. She's not in a relationship with them, but friendship. It could be friendship or relationship. Y'all gotta be careful, man. You are the clout. You are the clout. And this doesn't only apply to black women. Wherever you are, whoever you are, if you have something that people naturally gravitate towards and they want to harvest your energy, just remember you are the clout. You're the one who has the power and the value. I'm not saying that they don't, but they're seeking it. People who don't have it want it so badly. But unfortunately, they can't get it on their own, so they want to leech off of you. Shelly and Andreina, they have the clout. But now, with them being entangled with her, their stock just went down. Same thing with Jana and Kenny. She's going to be fine. But her stock took a hit too. Now she's being known as the girl who was used. And I'm sure people are having a field day about this. And talking about, oh, she didn't know that he was using her. She's embarrassed right now. I don't want to say she's embarrassed, but her name is tied to his name, at least for the time being. Same thing with Whitney and Lochan. Now, everywhere she goes, if she has an interview, they're going to keep bringing his name up. Keep bringing Kenny up. Keep bringing that situation up. It's not going to end, y'all. Because they're the clout. I'm so happy Ola isn't stateside. Yes. Well, I think she's back now. It said Andreina invited both and none said anything but about the hate. Shelly. Yes. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Exactly, sis. Exactly. This is the thing. They're seeing what's going on social media. They see the hate that girl's getting, that Shelly's getting. The least Andreina could have done is said, hey, actually, it was my fault. I posted it. My bad. Shelly knew nothing about this. She could have cleared that up. She didn't. Why? Because I'm telling y'all, they know what they're doing. All I'm going to say is they know what they're doing. And Andreina, I'm watching you, girl. I'm watching you a little bit. I'm not saying that she is not a friend to Shelly. But what I am going to say is the line is drawn in the sand. A separation has already been done. And I don't think that Alandra had a problem with her being friends with Sierra. I'm talking about Shelly. I don't think she really cared about it because they were friends from before. But the fact that, again, you are making it like... And another thing before I end. Sorry, y'all. I'm about to end it literally, seriously. But I just keep having these thoughts, and then I'm going to stop it. Another thing that I didn't like either is that Sierra, this is how you could tell that she wasn't genuinely accountable for whatever the racial slur that she said. She wasn't accountable for it. One, she did it twice. So it's not like she did it one time, because people are making it seem like, oh, she just made a mistake. That's 2 times is not a mistake. Twice is not a mistake. That's a pattern. Pattern. Once, okay, could be a mistake. Twice, pattern. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. She did it twice, y'all. And then she didn't even, so she apologized. And usually, if you're really accountable, you're going to disappear a little bit. Let people miss you and pop back out. This girl has been trying to get on the Love Island season 7 train since they left the villa. She has an agenda. What? She doesn't want to lose her influencer career. Notice she went right back to influencing. That's all she knows. And as soon as they got out of the villa, she's been latching on to whoever she can. And now it's time for her to tell her story, her side of the story. And y'all want to tell me she's not calculating. And then now, she did that whole Q&A. Yeah, she can tell her side of the story. No problem. Do your thing, boo. We thought that was the last of it. But no, now it's going to keep continuing. She's not going to stop. And there's a reason. It's because she feels like she deserves the spotlight. It should have been her and not Alandria. Even though the way that it worked, the universe is amazing. God is amazing. That's all I'm going to say. Because she almost did a destiny swap. But it wasn't that time. Whatever happened, God was like, nope, we switching it right back to the order it was supposed to be in. And now she's salty about it. That's all that is. She's trying to get her name back on top. And she's still posting like usual. Business as usual. She doesn't care. And again, why would you attach your brand to somebody like that? She's a liability. But again, she's chasing the clout. Who's the clout? You have what they want. That's all I'm going to say. Anyways, I'm going to end it like this. You have what they want. Be careful of people who are going to take your clout. And you don't have to be a celebrity to have clout. It's just in your normal everyday life. People who latch onto you, leech onto you. And people who just use, take. Money, time, resources. You get little in return. They don't even treat you right. Don't waste your time, y'all. And stop protecting these men. I'm tired of it. I'm exhausted. Sierra was willing to stick with friends that dumped her public. Yes, exactly. They dumped her. And she still stuck with them. And then now, Shelly, again, she's actually her friend. And she was like, hey, I'm going to still be friends with you. But knowing that Shelly has all of this hate coming her way because of the whole Huda situation, as a friend, if I'm Andreina or Sierra, if I'm a true friend, I wouldn't have posted that because I'd be like, yo, this is not going to look good. The optics are not good. Everybody's not really feeling this right now. Let's just meet up. Why can't you meet up and not take a picture? It's not that difficult. Why does everything need to be broadcasted on social media? Why? There was an agenda. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not. And I think Andreina, in my opinion, I think that she posted it on purpose. Because, again, she's friends with Sierra and Shelly. So automatically, she's probably thinking like, oh, no, I'm not really effing with Alandria like that. And mind you, remember when that whole situation happened when she was about to get kicked out of the villa when they had to do the final vote between the whole Casa girls, Andreina, and then Austin, Taylor, all of them were on the bottom, and TJ, all of them. And they had to choose the couples. Alandria went to Austin. Even though I understand her reasoning because she was like, yeah, Austin's my bestie, and he was the only one like I was closest to him in the house. But at the same time, I never saw her and Andreina really F with each other like that. She was always closest to Shelly and Sierra. So obviously her loyalty lies with Sierra, which means that she doesn't, she made it clear. That's what I'm saying. She made it clear. Now, I'm not saying that Shelly knew or anything, I don't know. But all that picture did was show me where the loyalties were. That's all. It's just the public declaration of who we're standing beside in this whole situation that Sierra made literally, she's the one who is making them choose. That's what that is. And she did it in a smart way. I must give her her tens for that. Because it's for show, they're still her friends. Yeah, there you go. Sierra had love. She did. I showed that last week. Yep. All of that, what you guys. She's pulling a Drake. Exactly. She's pulling a Drake. She's pulling a Karen. They know how to make. I'm telling you, they know what they notice when he was with Kendrick. Exactly. When he had that whole beef with Kendrick, people had to choose. He made them choose, whether by choice or force. They chose. It was because, again, he was the one making them choose. Kendrick didn't even make anybody choose. He was like, look, it's between me and him. I don't care about none of that, what's going on between everybody and everybody here. It's between me and this guy. But then he made it about the industry. And he started drawing the line in the sand. So, anyways, we're going to see how the reunion goes. Y'all, follow my Twitch account. I put it in the description box. I'm going to live stream the reunion when it comes out. So we'll watch it together, and it'll be on YouTube too. Like, I'll live stream it on YouTube. Hopefully they don't copyright strike me. She hot because of Nick. She want. Anyways, have a good night, y'all. Hi, Erin. How are you, sis? Y'all, you right, Devonda Pittman. She wanted the. Anyways, I'm gonna head out, man. It's been almost 4 hours. Wow, at least I cut it down by 1 hour. But I think we had an important conversation, and I'm going to cut this up like I did last week. And I will also reveal the Tia and Tamara case study will come out tomorrow as well. So this week, y'all could look forward to a new case study. But I enjoyed my time with y'all. Thank you so much for rocking with me. I love y'all the long way. And good night, y'all. Have a good night, y'all. We'll talk later.